Recall, review, ramble, Gallus.
I'm sorry, is this Mrs. Riley's house? No, that's just down the road. Oh, thank you very much. Who was that, Ted? Just some woman looking for Riley's house. She had a baby. For a moment I thought that's not Irish, somebody had left it on our doorstep. God, imagine what would have happened if she had. Yes, we'd have been looking after it and getting into all sorts of hilarious jams. It would have been very, very funny. It would have been that funny, Ted. Actually, no. What Father Ted was too scared to do, Big Daddy Adam Sandler has no such fear. This is the Sandlerverse. This is Big Daddy.
Well, it's a big, big city and it's always the same. But no day can ever truly be the same. 'Cause a boy was dropped off and well, I guess right now, he's mine. Because I know you worked at Hooters and that's pretty cool. I know I may be on a downer, I'm still ready to dream with the boy. I want a girl, Sandler's on the case to grow. So if you're lonely, why'd you say you're not lonely? Well, I'll look after you. Back half Arthur Brooks, it's chill. It's sponsored by Bud and Pepsi. And now you know me. Hi, I'm Sonny. Daddy issues in that. A boy like you needs his big, big daddy. So if you're crazy, I don't care you wear red bras. But you're a silly girl, a 5-year plan, and old balls. I hurt myself, you smile, you laugh, kill me now. And only a girl like her could be a lawyer, and it's a crying shame. She made out with the doll, but no me. A boy like you needs his big, big daddy.
And on that note, welcome everyone to the Gallus podcast. Hi, how you doing? I'm Ryan. I'll be one of your hosts today, and I'm joined by
Michael. Hello.
for the first time doing a podcast, I believe.
Yep, first time.
How are you feeling?
Excited and nervous.
I just talk shit.
Nervous is a good thing, you know.
Nervous
Well, I
is a
do
good
talk
thing.
shit anyway. So.
Well, you are in the right place, as that is what this podcast is known for. So this is a series where I am reviewing as many goddamn Adam Sandler movies as I can stomach before I literally drop dead. This is episode 2, where we are talking about Adam Sandler's 1999 release in Big Daddy. I think we'll open the conversation with just to be that kind of scene setting.
Sounds good.
Tell me your thoughts on Adam Sandler in general, and just kind of a rough kind of review of Big Daddy from your perspective.
I like Adam Sandler because he's got a good few movies. A lot of his movies are overrated. And some of them I've just seen way too many times that I've seen it that much that
Such
I cannot watch it. Grown Ups. Happy Gilmore. Like, I do like that film, but it's one of the films you need to be in the mood to watch.
So
And Grown Ups 2, of course. And I can't really think anymore, I don't know.
Fair
My
enough.
brain's half
Fair
asleep.
enough.
But Big Daddy's a classic, you know. But Happy Gilmore 2, we'll see how that goes. It looks,
That's true.
I've got mixed feelings about that.
It should be a movie.
I mean, it should be a movie, but Adam Sandler's like 50 something now. And he was like 30 or 20 something when he done Happy Gilmore. So we'll see how a 50-year-old man can do something that he done when he was in his 20s to 30s.
That's all he's been doing for the past 10 years, is just doing the same movies
I know.
they did in his 20s
And
and 30s.
he
It'll be
gets even
easy.
more amateur in every movie. I don't get
He
it.
makes more money from all of them. And it stars Maxwell J. Freeman, MJF, former EW World Heavyweight Champion, for a bit of wrestling thrown in there.
Yeah, so we've got mixed feelings for Adam Sandler.
Various points of wrestling is going to be brought up in this discussion because I have a habit of doing that. What about Big Daddy as a movie?
Oh, I love Big Daddy.
Yeah.
One of the first ever Adam Sandler movies I've seen, and it's always been my favourite. And it helps it was brought the year I was born, so kind of faith.
Absolutely, absolutely. Do you remember the first time you watched Big Daddy?
Oh. I remember it briefly.
Briefly tell the story.
I thought to myself, I was like 5 or 6 when I was watching it with my big brothers and that, and my big sisters, and I thought to myself, this film is not for children, but at the same time it is. But my favourite quote is, when I first seen it, I did not expect Rico Sprouses to say, I wipe my own ass. And I thought, this is fucking
What he
golden.
does. He's a Cola Dylan at that moment in time. Do we have confirmed proof of who's who in each scene?
Wait, I thought it was one person. Look, that's the thing. They looked so fucking alike. You can tell them between Zach and
Exactly.
Cody and fucking Cole and Dylan and fucking Big Daddy are friends.
Oh, they were in Friends, weren't they?
And they were Ben.
And my
and
dad
Friends.
mentioned that the other day, and I was like, oh. But never mind, I mean, I don't watch Friends. I've seen like 2 or 3 episodes. You big on Friends?
Oh, like, aye. I was big on Friends, but I've seen it that many times. Like, I watch it every now and again, but because I've seen it that many times, I know literally every single fucking quote and every single
That's
thing
good.
about
That's
it.
a good place to be with a TV show, to be able to quote it then and there
I mean,
in every
I could
circumstance.
have played a fucking role in that show the amount of times I've seen it.
There's a lot of folk like that. I think if you get a Friends reboot going and just be purely super fans
know.
that know all the lines,
Oh.
they wouldn't even have to do anything in rehearsals. They know the lines, they know the stage directions. They
I mean,
could just
I've often been
do
told
it.
that I would play Chandler because I'm overly sarcastic, but we'll see who I would play for what I do.
Well, there's only one way to see who you would play in a certain piece of media, and that is to immediately hunt down a BuzzFeed quiz. What Friends character am I?
This will be interesting.
It's not even BuzzFeed, it's VNA, whatever that means. I do not want your optional cookies, please. No, thank you. What would you say you are most passionate about? A. Fashion. B. Science and history. C. Human and animal rights. D. Food. E. No sugar.
What was the options again?
Fashion, science and history, human and animal rights, food, or I'm not really sure.
I'm not really sure. Like, because there's a few there, but none really scream out.
How do your friends describe you?
Annoying.
Well, we will see if that is an option. Funny, sweet, smart, popular, weird, in a good way.
Oh, I will say either funny or weird, so either or.
Take it
How
back.
would you describe me?
Ooh,
Well, but whatever you describe me.
sorry. I'm not going to tell you, it's so cruel. Which of these is your favourite animal? A monkey, a dog, a cat, or a chicken? That is a really weird
Oh,
selection.
I like monkeys. Monkeys are cool, but I'm not a big fan of Ross. He's annoying. So
What
I
are
don't get
you-
Ross.
What are you more likely to get into trouble for doing? Staring out the window, which is like breaking laws. Chewing gum, which again is breaking laws, but it is what you're doing right now. Chatting, also what
What
you're
we're
doing
doing
right
right
now. There is a window over there which you can look at, you're staring out right now. Or
I'm doing all
D,
three.
answering back, which is how you respond to a question. What the fuck is this question?
I know, literally, it's all of the fucking above.
Chewing gum, chatting, answering back, staring at the window, take it
Let's just say answering back, because apparently I've got an attitude problem from being cheeky to people.
Salted. If you found a box of baby rats, what are you more likely to do? Take them home and care for them until they grow up and can be released. Well, that's
What the fuck kind of questions are these?
freak out, take them to the rescue centre, or pretend you never saw them.
Take them to the rescue centre. I'm not a completely heartless person. Make sure they're safe.
Oh, shit, I think so. What's your biggest flaw? The Friends quiz is getting deep into 6 options.
This
I
is
can-
exposing me right now, people.
I can get a little too jealous. I can get a bit dippy at times. I find it difficult to take things seriously. I'm a bit flaky sometimes. I can be too competitive, and I can be a bit of a people pleaser.
I would say I can be a bit too competitive, because I do, like, when I'm doing something, I get competitive and I get stuck.
Which of these outfits are you most likely to wear? There's just options: jeans and a t-shirt, trousers
Oh.
and a shirt/nice top, or a dress.
Got to be a fucking dress. No, I'm joking. Jeans and a t-shirt, as it's what I wear in the
It's the Adam Sandler outfit of legend. It's just a white t-shirt.
t-shirt and jeans.
I mean,
Hello, white t-shirt and
we're
jeans.
both repping the inner Adam Sandler. You know,
Yeah.
get the white.
We both came up with that idea, you know.
Well, I mean, it's infectious. You look at him for too long, you decide to dress like it.
I know.
What's your greatest strength, by the way? Are you kind? Are you organised? Are you a good friend? Are you caring? Or have you got a great sense of humour?
I would say I've got a great sense of humour, but I'm also a good friend. But great sense of humour, because, you know, all my past friends come up.
Which of these foods would you choose for dinner? Dropping the C-bomb before the 10-minute mark on YouTube is not going to be a pleasant experience. Pizza, delicious homemade spaghetti bolognese, vegetarian lasagna, or tacos.
Homemade spaghetti bolognese, you know.
Keyword there, I think, is delicious.
Delicious spaghetti bolognese, yes.
Which Friends character would be your best pal? Monica, Phoebe, Ross, Rachel, Chandler, Joey?
You know, it'd have to be Joey. You know, Joey's just a fucking dumb bastard. But you love him.
Are you ready to get your results?
Not really, but scare me. Watch me go in Monica or something.
You are Chandler.
I told you I was Chandler.
You're Chandler. You're hilarious, witty, and kind. Like Chandler. Chandler is always there to make light of dark times. A vital person to have around when the going gets tough. You're a great shoulder to lean on, and you never let your friends take life too seriously. Your sense of humour makes you so much fun to be around, but you're also very caring. Your friends know that they can depend on you, as you've got a kind heart, even if you do make a few jokes at their expense.
Sounds about right.
First.
Would you say that sounds like me? I would say it sounds like me.
For what I've galloped the past couple of months, absolutely.
Yes.
It's very much yourself. Because I met yourself like 3 months ago on
The best 3 months of your life.
shooting a short film for the UWS, which is where we are filming.
Yep.
Got a credit building.
3 months and a lot more times to come.
God,
Good luck
it
to you.
was a miserable little day in Irvine, wasn't it?
Oh my god, it was fucking awful.
Irvine is so depressing.
The amount of times I had to fucking actually fail out because of the wind. See the times I
It
kept on...
was so windy.
Like, I kept on tripping up because of the wind, and it was actually not me doing. And therefore, you know what? The fact that I had to stay on my knees, then get back up, then go back down, I was like, what the fuck am I doing here?
But the Weatherspoons was nice enough, and the Star of Pramming was very enjoyable.
Oh, I vouch for that. It was very, very well needed.
Done at the crack at night. But how you doing? What you been up to?
No bad. Just fed up at college, finished up now. Can't fucking wait to go and celebrate, you know?
Yes.
Finally got a HND in acting, which is why I'm an alcoholic according to my pals. But, you know.
I mean, college is a good reason. A good
I mean,
scapegoat to
like,
blame.
all my pals are boring that are near college because they all sit and work and then worry about being tired, and then because I'm enjoying my student life, I'm the one that's a cunt. I say fuck them. I'm fun.
I mean, we took the test.
Yeah,
Chandler was-
I am Chandler Bing.
Chandler was the result
Yep.
of that.
As long as I'm not the first to actually die out of the friends, then I'll be happy because he's the first to actually die in real life. But you know, I've got a theory on who I think on my pals will die first.
Is this the place to just say that?
Oh, I mean, they probably know who I'm talking about. Blonde haired London.
God, I love England. And would you like some facts about the movie Big Daddy?
Of course.
Yeah, most of these are from IMDb. Release date, October 1st, 1999. That was in the United Kingdom. The country of origin, the United States. Its language is English and Italian. It is also known as Un Papa Genial,
Papa Genial.
which I'm sure is Italian. Un Papa Genial. That's not racist, that's Italian. Filming locations were Staten Island and New York City in the US of A. Brackets, Hooters, close brackets.
Yep.
Production companies, Out of the Blue Entertainment, it's Italian, Jack Giaraputo
Jack Gianapicho. Yep.
Productions, absolutely. The box office for the movie, right? The budget of the movie was 34,000.
You know,
That's wrong. 34 million.
I was going to say for a 34,000 budget movie,
Yeah.
it done really well.
I can't read numbers. 34 million to 100,000. But how much money did it make? In specifically the United States and Canada. How much was its domestic box office?
Oh, over 50 million?
163,479,795.
Sounds good, you
It's
know.
a successful movie right there.
Really good movie.
It has the runtime of 1 hour and 33 minutes, and it was Adam Sandler's 12th, count him, 12th
12.
movie. It's always good to run down the facts to kind of, cite us on the reality of what you're about to.
Yeah, like, I'm learning stuff here I didn't even know, so I'm in all of this.
Right, so let's get a wee kind of summary of the movie. What's the movie about?
So the Adam Sandler, who takes care of a kid who he didn't initially plan on taking care of, but then he falls in love with the kid and wants to adopt him as his youth child, but then because he is accused of kidnapping the kid, and then the kid's dad comes back from China or Chinatown, then it all goes to court, and then Adam Sandler's dad doesn't like Adam Sandler in the movie, and he says that he should get the kid before he comes to his senses to say he should get the kid.
Right, but does he get the kid in the end?
Stay tuned and find out.
Anyway, So we've got, in terms of characters, you've got Adam Sandler, who has given us a lovely little role of Sonny.
Yep.
Spelled Sonny. Every single one of my notes spells it Sunny because I have a child's brain and I see the word Sonny and I immediately think of the sky, not a name.
Oh, I'm the same.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I am sorry, I have misnamed you. There's then Julian, or Frankenstein. I am sorry, I have misnamed you. He's our little 5-year-old kid from Buffalo or something who's like, hi.
He's from Buffalo, but then he's actually from Canada, but he moved to Buffalo. So big fan, you know. But then you can't forget about his best friend, Scuba Steve.
And Scuba Steve.
You know?
Scuba Steve is his toy doll.
Who he is obsessed with. If you find him in the movie without Scuba Steve, then there's going to be hell.
To pay for everyone, in fact, yeah.
Yeah.
Like he kicks up. Is there a scene where he kicks up first because he has no Scuba Steve?
I don't think so, but there is a scene where Sonny walks on Scuba Steve and hurts himself, and then like Julian's sitting crying because he's thinking that, then he hurts himself and then he starts laughing.
Absolutely, because experiencing pain is funny.
Funny. Yep.
I'm a 5-year-old. Oh, a 5-year-old who was played by two twin brothers in Dylan and Cole Sprouse, as mentioned earlier, and they switched many times on and off whilst
But you
filming.
genuinely cannot tell who's who.
The joy
Is it
of twins
possible?
when they're like 5. Many will recognise the twins as popular child actors who would go on to achieve their own success in the show business.
Yeah.
The twins are best known for starring in the channel sitcom The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. Never watched it.
Yeah, that was a good show in that. But
Yeah.
do you know that there was also, you know, the twins in Everybody Loves Raymond? Did you watch that show? Do you know that they were twin brothers in real life, obviously, and one of them killed himself?
Oh, I hate it when you hear little stories about that.
I read about it in that, and the person who played Ali, their sister, she's also their sister in real life. But one of the brothers shot himself in the face because he was like struggling with like, mental health issues.
Yeah.
It's quite sad.
Pleasant.
Sad to act about a different show.
Where Dylan and Cole played twin siblings Zack and Cody, respectively. As the two of them got older, their paths would diverge.
Yes.
Dylan went on to attend New York University and graduated with a 4-year degree in video game design.
What?
Sure. He continues to star in independent movies and he even provided voice work for video games such as Kingdom Hearts 3 in 2019. In recent years, he's also hit the gym and has since become a self-described meathead.
Meathead.
Sure. But that's not as much fun as Cole, who graduated from NYU in 2015 after studying
Acting or dramatic arts?
archaeology.
What?
He also nabbed another recognisable role in Jughead Jones
Oh,
in the
Riverdale.
ongoing series Riverdale.
That show, I loved that show when it first
I
started.
adore Riverdale.
Like, it was so good when it first started.
Bullshit.
It's still good. to
So
today.
good from
Like,
series 3 onwards.
The first season was
Rubbish.
It just fucking dragged on that. Then the second season, I felt like season 3 was the season where it really started getting good. And then, you know, then when they did like a season 4 and that, it was so good.
Absolutely.
Then when they blew up the barn and then the farm came and all that, oh, so good.
It's the best television show
like-
I think ever made because it doesn't write like you're meant to write. It just
Anything can happen. It's just it's so fucking random.
the
You
show
know, it's
ends
like-
with the characters watching the show. Oh, it's
You
a
know,
gold. I love it.
True story. On one of my old phones, I used to actually have a Surfside Serpents phone case. It was cool.
That does sound kind of funny. Yeah.
And then I actually had the Surfside Serpents hoodie as well.
You're repping the Jughead. Repping the Jughead.
Repping the jacket.
Of specifically Cole.
Yes. Cool. Not Dylan.
They continue to follow their own paths to this. Dave, what do you know the director of the movie?
Who directed the movie?
Dennis Duggan.
Do you know, I've never actually really heard him direct a lot of movies in that. You know, he's a director I've never really heard of other than this movie.
Born September 5th, 1946. Oh, he was a post-war baby. He's an American film director, actor, and comedian. He's known for directing various films, mainly his partnership with Adam Sandler. Although he is a 4-time Golden Raspberry Award winner for the worst director. He won
Who's the
one.
worst director?
That's a question you can't just throw upon a man when I'm reading about an Adam Sandler director. This guy, Dennis Duggan.
You know what? Let's go with Dennis Duggan.
I'll read through his filmography in a wee second. Who is the worst director that I know of? Probably someone morally fucked, like Woody Allen.
You know, like I thought Patrick Wilson, he's a kind of good actor, but he's not the best director.
Yeah.
he directed The Insidious to Red Door and that was kind of shit. Considering the first two were good, and then I enjoyed the third one, but the last game was bad, just because it was kind of boring. And then in the Red Door, like I thought when it was coming back, when the Red Door was coming back, and I thought I could pick up for the end of the second one.
Yeah.
But then Dalton's like 17, he's at university. Then Hallie's older, then his mum just randomly dies, and then he's all of a sudden, who you've never heard of, his dad's just, it's like being visions of his fucking dad.
Yeah.
Who killed himself, like...
This is what we need. Riverdale writing. Nothing matters. Just do chaos. Because that's what Doctor Who's currently running on. Now, you're seeing this 2 months after we record this, but what happened a few days ago was Doctor Who's series finale, and of which they just broke reality. I mean, the episode was called The Reality War, but it was so Riverdale writing. Like, I kid you not, the god of Doctor Who ate one of the top tier villains, that's her deed, and was beaten in about 2 minutes. That's literally your top tier villain. Then the Doctor spends 30 minutes doing fuck all, really, to save a baby, I think, that is or isn't real. The entire series gets uncanonised, essentially, or canon changed. Jodie Whittaker showed up for a bit, and then fucking Billie Piper appears. That's what we need in this world.
I need to watch Doctor Who still.
I would highly recommend series 1 through 5.
I'll make that my next go-to show.
Then I wouldn't. His early life, he was born in Wheaton, Illinois, the second of 4 sons of Marion, a housewife, and Charles Duggan, an insurance executive. He graduated the Goodman School of Drama at the Art Institute in Chicago and started his acting career in 1969 in New York City. He got 1 child. But would you like to know the movies this man has directed?
Sure, why not?
Problem Child, Brain Donors, Happy Gilmore, Beverly Hills Ninja, Big Daddy. Oh, sorry, I'd like to revisit Big Daddy. It nominated for the Golden Raspberry Award for the worst director. National Security, The Benchwarmers. I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry. I'd like to step in and say nominated for the Golden Raspberry Award for worst director. So far he's done, 3 Sandler movies? 2 of them have been nominated for the Golden Raspberry Award for worst director. You Don't Mess with the Zohan. Grown Ups.
My favourite movie.
Just Go With It.
That is a great movie.
Jack and Jill. Golden Raspberry Award for the worst director, by the way. Yeah.
Surprise, surprise.
That one won. Golden Raspberry Award for the worst director. Grown Ups 2. Nominated for the Golden Raspberry Award for the worst director. And Love, Weddings and Other Disasters, which he also wrote. So safe to say, he's got a good friendship with Adam Sandler. He directed
Good relationship with Adam Sandler.
3 of his good movies and the 4 of his awful movies.
Good friends with Adam Sandler, but a fucking awful director.
Yeah.
But you know, I suppose he did direct like 2 or 3 good movies, but that's all I can say about him.
Pretty much. The Wedding Singer was Adam Sandler's first movie to see him play a more grounded character and less of like a living cartoon, and it was his most successful film, probably one of my favourites at this moment in time. That is until The Waterboy followed later that year, and it completely trounced The Wedding Singer at the box office. It seemed to suggest that audiences didn't mind believable guy Sandler, but much preferred goofy caricature Sandler. So when it was time for his 5th film with that cast and crew, he had a tough choice to make. Ultimately, he chose a mostly grounded character with only some slightly early Sandler man-child-esque tendencies. That was all one word and really hard to say. From early Sandler man-child-esque tendencies, that was all hyphenated. What the hell is this article? Thank you, Looper. With Big Daddy. And it proved to be a winning formula indeed. He had once again maintained the tradition of outgrossing his previous film, only by a little bit domestically, but a considerable margin worldwide. To be sure, Big Daddy was arguably Sandler's most mature film today, ironic since it was the one where he has a child as his main co-star. It's quite funny. Yeah. The movie also had more outsider talent than any previous Adam Sandler movie had, bringing in like Joey Lauren Adams, Leslie Mann, Kristen Swanson, and Jon Stewart. Big Daddy. Alongside the usual suspects of Adam Sandler's pals. The result was the least Adam Sandler movie to this point. And there is a reason for that, which we will explore here along with various fascinating tidbits about the 1999 comedy. Thank you for the article kicking off. And it's like article pish. I'm just going to have a drink of Coke if you want to cover to the camera.
So, What's your least favourite Adam Sandler movie?
Least favourite Adam Sandler movie? Jack and Jill.
Good.
Country Mile Jack and Jill.
Never actually seen it.
Good. Don't change that. But all of them is also a valid answer to what's your least favourite Adam Sandler movie. But they're fascinating, which is why we are here. It's hard to imagine anyone else in the role of Julian beside the twins, Cole and Dylan Sprouse. They do an incredible job of playing that kid. Even someone like Sonny can instantly fall in love with them, but also be ready to pull his hair out. They had previously had a main role in the TV series Grace Under Fire, and soon after Big Daddy, they would rise to stardom in that Sweet Life franchise in the Disney Channel. But the Sprouse twins weren't the only ones up for the role when Sandler finally hosted Saturday Night Live.
Oh, I didn't know this.
In 2019, for the first time since his firing from the show 25 years prior, current cast member Pete Davidson joined Sandler for his monologue. Davidson also revealed on Instagram that his mum had taken him to the audition for Big Daddy, considering that Davidson would have been about 5 at the time, and then it stands to reason he was auditioning for the role of Julian.
But thankfully, we Cole and Dylan got it.
What is the alternate timeline where Pete Davidson is a child star on the Disney Channel?
Never even heard of Pete Davidson, so couldn't tell you anything about him.
I was hoping that the name Pete Davidson would carry enough weight that I wouldn't have to have a slide dedicated to Pete Davidson, but I will get this man up.
I mean, if I see him or if I hear about stuff he's in, I might know him, but you know, it looks familiar, but I don't actually think I watch a lot of his stuff.
We'll just skip to the fun stuff.
Fun stuff for Pete Davidson.
The Yahoo article. Oh, I don't want fucking cookies. Just grab the water. Inside Pete Davidson's drama and controversy. Timeline from trashing a trailer to his feud with Kanye West. Pete Davidson has always been open about his struggles with mental health and substance abuse. The Saturday Night Live alum revealed when he was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder in 2016, the realisation was a lot for him to handle. Throughout the years, and big-time adolescent star found himself in the spotlight more and more, and that took a toll on the comedian. From stints in rehab to feuds with Kanye West, Davidson's life has been a bit of a rollercoaster drama.
Do you think that would have happened to him still if he got the role as Julian and Big Daddy?
I don't know how borderline personality disorder works, but I'm going to assume yes.
Yeah. Some people just...
Did he not date one of the Jenners? Is that not his thing? He might have went with Kim Kardashian.
You know, I think I actually heard a rumour about that.
Yeah, he was with Kim Kardashian. That's Pete Davidson, and he could have been Julian in Big Daddy, but he won't.
I feel like it was the perfect casting for Dylan and Cole's Sprouse, you know.
The Sprouses rose up to the monster.
You know.
It's not always clear how adult stars are going to handle having a young child on set, but it's clear that Adam Sandler enjoyed working with the Sprouse twins and also felt protective of them. In a 2019 interview with Variety, God, Adam Sandler got to a lot in 2019. Cole Sprouse recalled, this is Cole Sprouse, never mind. Cole Sprouse recalled the fire alarm went off in the hotel that the cast and crew were staying at during Big Daddy. Sprouse said that Sandler put the young actor up on his shoulders and carried him down a whopping 45 flights of stairs just to ensure that he made it outside safely.
Adam Sandler seems like a really nice person.
He's really genuinely might be one of the nicer men.
Because apparently, like, him and Jennifer Aniston, they're actually really good friends in real life and that, and Jennifer Aniston lost in trouble with baby loss and that. Every single year on Mother's Day, I'm sure he sends her a bunch of flowers in a card just to make sure she's alright and that, because he's such a nice person.
Yeah. Seeing how as the boys were between 5 and 6 year olds when Big Daddy was in production, that was indeed no small task for Adam Sandler carrying 2 children over his shoulders. However, Sprouse also admitted that during the same interview, he and his brother learned every single bad word whilst making Big Daddy. Because
Adam Sandler is a bit of a swearer.
The behind the scenes crew swore like sailors. So when they returned to school after finishing shooting the film,
you can imagine they went and swore 5 boys to something.
Very much.
Sounds about right.
Which is very, very funny.
Yeah. Just a wee 5-year-old going a bit fucking chat, cunt, dick.
And other swear words such as ass.
Yes, because he can wipe his own ass.
He can wipe his own ass. He says crap in the movie. Wow.
Oh crap.
So the movie was released in October 1st, 1999.
October 1st. I mean, it does make sense considering it's around Halloween time and the actual movie. When it dresses up as a little kangaroo.
Absolutely. So, October 1st, 1999. Let's play the fun game of what happened.
Oh god, another fun game, let's go.
The Shanghai Pudong International Airport would open in China, which would take over all international flights going from Hong Kong. The more you know. The 1999 Rugby World Cup, which was the first World Cup in the professional era of rugby, was held in Wales and won by Australia, who beat France in the final. The number one song in the United States of America on the musical charts was Unpretty by it was TLC by, Unpretty by TLC.
You heard that song?
Almost definitely aye. But what was the number one song in Great Britain on October 1st in 1999?
Don't tell me it was the kangaroo song.
No.
Oh, thank God. Oh, I mean, I'm so sad. No, what was the number one movie, not song in Great Britain?
Eiffel 65's Blue Dabba Dabba Da. Blue dabba dee dabba da. If I was green, I would die. Is that not the Celtic thing anyway? But more fun, I would argue, the movies.
Oh.
So I've got the box office top grossing movies of 4 weeks. So from September 24th to October 14th, the same movie was at the box office. What movie was at the box office for 3 straight weeks?
Big Daddy?
Hadn't been released.
I have no clue.
Double Jeopardy.
I've heard of that movie, but I've never actually
One of
seen
my
it.
least favourite movies.
Doesn't sound too...
I mean, it's quite well praised. I was in a very angry mood when I watched it and I ripped that poor thing to shreds. But what movie would take Double Jeopardy off of the box office top on October 15th?
Happy Gilmore.
Fight Club.
Anyway, it's kind of the same. Adam Sandler's a raging person who bars people at a golf club. That's a Fight Club version of me.
I think I'm looking at 97 maybe? I've got a slide that says that.
You know, I've heard mixed...
Oh,
I've heard
96, my bad.
I've heard mixed reviews about Fight Club. I've heard people say it's really good. I've heard people say it's really bad.
I've never watched it. I'll get around to it one day. But see, when I found out it wasn't actually about an underground fight club and it was more about a guy's mental personality, I was like,
I know.
I was showing it be an underground fight ring, if I'm honest.
I mean, I think my dad seen that and he said it was really good in that, but I'm like,
I mean, that's a very manly movie.
but my dad's not really the manliest of types.
Well, still a movie for men.
Yeah, I mean, I'll get around here one day and I'll keep you
Same.
posted.
Same.
If I watch it and it's shit, I'll say it's great to suck and torture you.
I'll go watch it one day, but
No, wait, because I'm such a nice person,
shut it, Chandler.
Pivot.
Don't know what that means.
Oh, no, wait, that's what I was cool.
You've actually just fucked your own bit. Not national holidays, but holidays on Friday, October 1st, 1999. It was National Black Dog Day.
What? National Black Dog Day.
It was National CD Player Day. It was National Homemade Cookies Day.
All in the same day.
Yeah. It was National Hair Day, which is kind of fun. And it was Model T Day.
So, national, 5 or 6 different things on the one day.
Absolutely. Model T Day celebrates the impact of the Model T car, introduced by Henry Ford on October 1st. So it was also the anniversary of Henry Ford introducing the model.
When's National Ryan's Day? Because you get National Everybody's Names Day. When was National Ryan's Day?
Not October 1st.
When was that day? National... No, when was your day? National Your Day.
October 14th,
Oh, so see, it was still in October.
which is gutting,
Why?
because that means Double Jeopardy, one of my least favourite movies, was still at the top of the box office. Fight Club would beat it the day after. On National Ryan Day,
Oh.
Double Jeopardy was the top movie. at the box office. But then I got bored of doing research that didn't appeal to me. So I thought, what happened in professional wrestling on October 1st, 1999? Well, in WWF, Raw is War, coming to your life from Washington in the MCI Centre with commentary team of Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler. We would get to witness The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, go 1-1 the Road Dogg and it end in a no contest. We would get Christian Edge and the Hardy Boys taking on the Hollies and Crash Holly and Hardcore Holly and Too Cool and Brian Christoph and Scott Taylor. Edge, Christian, the Hardys would get the win. Al Snow and Mankind would beat Prince Albert and the Big Boss Man in a hardcore tag team match. China would beat Stevie Richards in a minute. Stone Cold Steve Austin would beat Mr. Ass by DQ.
Mr. Ass.
Don't question it. Val Venus would beat Test by DQ. Kane would beat X-Pac by DQ. The Headbangers and Mosh and Thrasher would beat the Dudley Boys and But Ray Dudley and Devon Dudley in 4 minutes. And in the main event for the World Heavyweight Championship, Triple H would defeat Shane McMahon in 7 minutes.
Very, very fascinating.
Well, that sounds like a shit show. What was going on the other channel? On WCW Monday Night Nitro, episode 251, commentary team Tony Schiavone and Bobby the Brain Heenan from Minneapolis, Minnesota. So the WCW World Heavyweight Championship was vacated, and there was a tournament on this show with a bunch of matches to try and crown it. And holy fuck, did none of these tournament matches make any goddamn sense. Vampiro would beat Berlin. Lash LaRoux would beat The Cat. Buff Bagwell would beat Stevie Ray. Kurt Hennig would beat Disco Inferno. So far, no matches exceeded 5 minutes. There was a hardcore triple threat match with Norman Smiley, Meng, and the Barbarian. Then it gets weird. This was all in a 2-hour time span, by the way, all of
How
these
does it
matches.
get weird?
Eddie Guerrero would beat Perry Saturn. In a key for Torrie Wilson's steel cage on a pole match. I want you to imagine this. Torrie Wilson, locked in a cage.
Right.
2 men fight to get the key to unlock her from a cage to then have her. Anyway, for the tag team championships, Sting and the total package would beat Billy Kidman and Conan.
I've got a question. Who actually did win and got the key?
Eddie Guerrero would secure that victory. Back to the world title tournament, of course. Jeff Jarrett would beat Booker T in 2 minutes, which is insane. Medusa would beat Evan Kilgarass in 2 minutes. Chris Benoit would beat Dean Malenko, and in the main event in 4 minutes, Scott Hall would beat Sid Vicious. Now you might be asking who would go on to win that tournament. I'm pretty sure it was Bret Hart, who wasn't in the tournament. What a good day for professional wrestling it was.
It sounds very, very
Shit.
successful.
It was a shit.
I'm just trying to be nice. You know,
No,
keep
you
me
can't-
PG
you
for the
can't.
podcast.
You can't be nice. You dropped the C-bomb in the first 10 minutes. You know, I'm going to have to edit that out. I'm going to have to do work. I was hoping to just not do work.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'll take your apology. Right, a bit French character, am I?
That'll be interesting. I can see.
What would you say you're most passionate about? Fashion, science and history? Yeah, I'll take science and history of your options. How do your friends describe you? We'll go with sweetheart. Seems like a nice. I'm treating myself with a compliment. What's your favourite animal? It's a 50-50 between cat and dog.
I mean,
I'm going to go with cat.
I can see you.
Nova.
I could see you probably getting Ross.
What are you more likely to get in trouble for doing? Well, considering today during my driving theory test I walked in chewing gum and she told me to spit it out, I'm going to have to go with chewing gum. Because I was in the wrong. Apparently it's against the rules to chew gum during a driving theory test. I
I never
don't
knew that.
personally understand the why, but I don't want to kick up fuss. I don't want to answer back or be any of the other options on this, so I spat out my gum and I was responsible. If you found a box of baby rats, what are you most likely to do? That's so specific, it's got to be a scene from Friends, right? Is there a scene where they find a box of baby rats?
I think it's brief in Friendship. But Ross does have a paid monkey in Friends. It's called Marcel.
Pretend I never saw them. What's your biggest? It's a fucking rat. Like,
I know.
you live in Glasgow, you see rats daily.
Oh, I seen them in my college all the time.
Exactly. Oh no, I was going for an actual rat joke, but I just
No, I
assumed
know.
your college would be littered with actual
Oh,
rats.
I mean, that is actual fucking. Look, there was a rat in a shop in the Forge. Look, literally, in December last year.
I mean, we got to go. You know what? Fuck it. Trousers and a shirt, nice top. I like a nice top. What's your greatest strength? Go with organised. Which of the foods would you choose for dinner? I think I'm gonna go with a pizza. Which friend's character would be your best friend? Now, I know fuck all about any of them.
Right, so Joey's...
Who's Matt LeBlanc?
Matt LeBlanc is Joey. Joey's funny and he doesn't like to share food and he's so stupid, nobody understands him. Who did you say?
I went for Phoebe because she's blonde and a bit dumb.
Oh.
Seems like good fun.
She's like this uncomfortable cat. And she's vegetarian. And she's a bit of a hippie.
I'm a Joey.
Oh. Joey and Jan are best pals in the show.
Australian.
And they're roommates as well.
You're sweet, you're confident, just like Joey from Friends. Joey really cares about his pals and they're going above and beyond to protect and help them, just like him. You're popular and liked by everyone you meet. You can be a little bit dippy at times, but can't we all if something your friends actually love about you? You have a great sense of morals and are trustworthy, kind and honest, so you're a brilliant friend to have. Everyone wants a mate like Joey, aside from all the weird things he does with women. I did that bit at the end.
Joey's a manslaughter. It's just the language bit. He sleeps about like every woman in New York and then just doesn't fund them.
That's why I added that bit on at the end. I don't see that as myself. And on that note, should we go into the scene by scene breakdown of Big Daddy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go.
You ever properly broke down a movie before done legit analysis?
In college, when we were doing acting for stream that, we had actually done a show. We had to do 2 scenes from a TV show called The Succession. I'm not sure if you've heard of it.
Familiar with Succession, it's got some good stuff in it.
We had to we watched an episode in class and then we had to kind of do a kind of small breakdown of the episode and that, which I kind of got, but it's just so we had an understanding of what the characters and that were actually like. But what I don't understand is why we had to do the breakdown of that episode, considering when we were actually doing the scenes from the show, we done it from 2 different episodes, and none of it was the episode we actually had to do the breakdown analysis on.
Maybe that one should have been broke down better.
I mean, it was the first episode they showed that.
Well, that's why.
Yeah, so it was kind of
okay.
And then when we've had to do not so much breakdowns of films and that, but when we were doing more productions and that, we had to do PowerPoint presentations. The first show we done was called Small by Holly Robinson, and we basically had to answer 14 or 15 different PowerPoints, different subtitles and that. So we had to do a status, and we had to do war status, then war character background, and whatever character is the way they are, and basically just do all of different stuff. Your character intentions and all that sort of stuff and that. So even though it wasn't for a film, that was basically you had to make up this character card for your character as to why he is the way he was in it. Then we actually did watch The 12th Night when we done that show in November last year. So we had to actually kind of do a wee bit of a breakdown for that, and we had to do expansions and all that for that. So we've had to do breakdowns of certain stuff, but no really films and that. Nice. The one thing I didn't really understand though, when we watched the film version of The 12th Night before production, all the characters, including the women characters, were all played by men. And all the characters who were meant to be played by men were all played by women.
I'm sure. Bit of fun. Who gives a fuck about gender? A man.
Except for the person, which I didn't understand. So the character Sebastian, who I played, he is a twin sister, Viola. But Viola was played by a man in the film, and Sebastian was played by a woman. Which I didn't understand.
I mean, doesn't it rules?
I mean,
it's not set in stone.
I mean, it was okay watching it. I was funny performing that, but see when we watched the film and then we had to delete the breakdown of it, it was really fucking confusing because of that. Because my answer is if I break this down, my first question was, why the fuck was all the men played by women and all the women played by men? I mean,
it's a very valid question. These are the kind of, you'll see when I get to my Beat By Me notes for Big Daddy, you'll see the extent of things I question. I question everything. I've been trained to.
I've been called quite a judgmental person whenever I watch a film now, because I question every aspect of a film. and like I always do it in my head and go, why is this happening? Why is that happening? That doesn't make sense. What's going on here? That shouldn't have happened. That's not too modern, you know. You question everything. And I thought that was
such a fun way to watch a movie.
But I thought that was just me being an actor, and like because of
It's just me being a film. Shouldn't you be an actor?
And I've always thought to myself like before I started studying acting, that I used to watch films with that, like it was good and stuff. But then I got to myself, that shouldn't have happened because we've done like we've done melodramatic acting, we've done like over the top acting, we've done like speedruns and stuff. And now so I'm seeing it myself like, and obviously you know like we've done like the Sandlerverse technique and all these different acting techniques in that as well. Sometimes myself, I used to watch a film and go, oh, you know what, it's alright in that. But now I'm saying to myself, this isn't it, this shouldn't be happening. That character's way over the top when it's a film that shouldn't be over the top, and that becomes so judgmental.
See, I've always noticed, well, now that I'm filming and not studying and all that, right, I notice technical flaws, but that's the boring thing to look into technical flaws. I love me a narrative flaw or trying to piece together why things happen. It's so much fun, and Big Daddy allows for that.
Like
in space. Just about the opening scene, I'm going to surprise you with the side tangent we're going to go down immediately, but it is a beautiful example of film analysis 101.
The one film that I always watch and I always feel like I judge it, I don't think it's a sad movie, but the Titanic.
Sure.
Right? I don't, right, I mean, it's a really, really, really good movie, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's sad. And I mean, obviously, it's sad for obviously people in that, but watching it, I've seen it that many times, I'm saying to myself, like, the fact that I've watched it so many times, I'm glad to myself, some of the stuff shouldn't have happened the way it did, and it was a bit modern for the time it was set in, and some of the stuff...
Set in the future, mate?
No, but like because obviously, like, it's set in the future, but for the time... I don't know, like, some of it, not but I'm saying, like, some of the stuff...
doing a bullshit conspiracy theory, hoping it would be something.
Some of the stuff that happened is stuff that happened in the future. Yes. But with the year that it was set and the way it was set in like an olden kind of times and that back in the 1980s and 90s, I'm sure, and that. And there was like the ship and that, like also like I had electricity and stuff and that, which I shouldn't that. But then there was just so many stuff that I watched. Like I've not watched it in a while, but when I watched it the last time, I just thought I could see so many flaws with it, considering like that shouldn't have happened or it should have happened. And the fact that when they seen the iceberg, they had plenty of time to steer the ship in that around, but they left it until they were here before they started.
I've checked the history books.
Like,
it says the Titanic crashes.
It crashes into an iceberg, but that's because when they see the iceberg in the distance, they don't start steering the ship until it's like very close to it. Like when you see an iceberg.
Go get the drama for the movie.
Aye, but then you've got Celine Dion and My Heart Will Go On whenever these falling off the ship dying.
Yes.
Like, it just,
good soundtrack, you've got a good movie.
I mean, like, she doesn't sing it in the film, but yet the whole song, My Heart Will Go On, by Celine Dion, is the music video for the fucking Titanic. And then...
That's song on the Titanic.
But it's funny because you're here, there's nothing I fear.
We stand on the edge of boats like this. Still to this day, if I'm on a boat, I'm getting at that.
And then my
Fairy Tale plot.
Like, everybody's falling off the boat, getting shot up by the propellers and all that. And then she should say, My Heart Will Go On. Not fucking money.
Go on somewhere. I mean, we're sitting in the jazz boat in Prague, getting at this at the end, because, you know, Titanic and that.
I mean, the guy beat the Titanic, you know, they're classic.
Aye, the story's class.
But then, at the end of the movie...
I mean, it's not, it was very sad.
Right, so... At the end of the movie... Rose, right, personal opinion, at the end of the film, Jack is in the war and Rose is holding on his hand in that. There was clearly more than enough room for Jack on that side of the boat.
But how would he become the guy from The Great Gatsby if he didn't fake his own death? He's got to fake his own death to then go to The Great Gatsby.
Aye, but so there was clearly enough room on that door, like what she was lying on. She was just being a selfish idiot in the film. Right, then like he's saying like promise me you'll never let go, like something like that. Then she's like, I promise I'll never let go. Then she says, I'll never let go. 2 seconds later she fucking lets him go and sinks him with the boat in the fucking water. Yeah. So that she can throw herself in the water to blow a whistle. So she can be the only ever fucking survivor of the Titanic.
No, it's so that he can fake his own death and go on to become Jack Gatsby in The Great Gatsby.
I've never seen The Great... No, what is it called?
Great Gatsby.
The Great Gatsby. I've never seen that movie.
Jack's fate in Titanic is very clear, but as he was a third-class passenger, there was no records of him, And this detail made way for different theories into who Jack truly was and who he could have been. Did he go on to become Leonardo's The Great Gatsby in The Great Gatsby? According to Reddit, and then it goes on some spool about Baz Luhrmann's Great Gatsby. Yeah, it's because you got to get him. Get him in The Great Gatsby.
Did you ever watch Titanic?
No. It's too long.
I know, it's like 3.5 hours.
I look at a runtime of a movie and I'm like...
I know. Look, it's partially one of the reasons I never watched The Batman. I rented a picture to see it.
I went to the pictures, aye.
But I was working night shifts in one of my previous jobs, and I had literally finished 2 night shifts. I went to the pictures with Eugene, and I fell asleep within the first 10 minutes.
It's a really good movie, The Batman. I've watched it at the pictures. It
And
was
ever
too
since
long
then,
then.
and then ever since then, I'm going.
I
It's not in
have
the
watched
picture.
it
Like,
in the house.
like,
over
if it was in the cinema, I'd probably go back and see it.
yeah.
But then, and now I'm going. When I have 3 hours to watch one movie.
It's only one movie that's worth that, and it's called RRR.
But then again, I did watch, in a day and a half, or in 2 days, I watched the Farewell podcast to Callum. That was really good.
Love
Shout
Callum.
out to Callum.
Loved Callum. Callum, what's your thoughts on Big Daddy?
Aye. What do you think of Big Daddy, Callum?
I know you like Big Daddy.
Also, how's Canada?
Nah, fuck that. How's Big Daddy?
Aye.
Oh, you could go to a Canadian Hooters, Callum.
Oh, go to hers.
Have a child. Then I could be your Big Daddy. Your kid's Big Daddy. Yeah. Yeah.
You can be his Big Daddy.
I meant his kid's Big Daddy when he like, gets back from Canada and he's like, fuck the Canadian. Who's got Canada?
Yep.
Yep.
Remember, you need to call your kid Frankenstein or Julian.
No, you call your child Bunga.
Bunza.
Thank you very much, Callum. Right, so the movie kicks off with black.
Yep.
And then we hear a ring, ring, a ring, ring. And it's a phone call. It's a phone call. I love it when a movie starts with a phone call because the phone call begins over the black screen as we meet.
Yep. And every single Scream movie always starts with a phone call. And it's always ding, ding, ding. Ghostface.
It's not a Scream movie. Very much not a Scream movie.
It's not a Scream movie, I just had to shout out. Just do the cup.
Well, it's a good cop.
It's a cool cup.
It'll be more relevant than I do to be.
Yeah. Anyway, so Big Daddy starts with a
phone call of
ring,
exposition
ring.
is we meet Adam Sandler who's lying in bed, Sonny Koufax. He's on the phone to his father who's like, are you still in bed? And he's like, no, I'm up. And he's like, you're still in bed, aren't you?
Listen,
As we begin to learn that his dad is
not so nice.
judgmental.
Yes.
He's a judgmental father who wants better for his son essentially and doesn't believe in him because his sons gave him no right to believe in him. We then get a weird sequence where as he's on the phone, it begins to like show us jump cut fade to blacks of him like sleeping in a boat or walking with a surfboard, kind of doing the opposite of what he's saying because he's saying, oh, I've got a job, I'm doing well, you know.
And really, he's just
not
a bit
wasting
about
time.
being a big child,
Being lazy.
essentially.
Yeah. And then we get a bit where he's like, oh yeah, Dad, you're the top lawyer in New York.
Yeah.
That will be relevant later because everyone's a fucking lawyer in this movie. We then get a spiel about Adam Sandler made 200,000, so he's a rich man, kind of. It's not rich in New York
Yeah.
or Buffalo. He hangs up the phone, which is then when we get the alarm. And Vanessa hops out of bed. And she's like,
And she's like, you turned off the alarm again, didn't you? And he's like, why would I do that?
and he's like, oh yeah, I did. And then that's Kirsty Swanson of Buffy.
Do you know, I thought so tomorrow.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh, that is a good movie.
It's a very good movie.
That's a brilliant movie.
I mean, it used to be my favourite movie of all time.
Yeah.
For like the longest time until then I grew up. And it became Paddington 2 and Encanto. Like it wasn't that, and then I grew out of it. No. I grew up and grew younger. And RRR and The Wicker Man, of course, my top 4 movies.
Yeah.
And then she was in a bunch of Hallmark movies. I've got a great Ferris Bueller's Day Off story. I watched it once as a child, absolutely adored it many a times as a child, and then could not find it for years. And one day I went with my pal Connell and we'll just do it, skiving school or whatever it is we were doing on that particular day. I think it was the last day of school, so that doesn't count as skiving. But meeting a pal who actually went to school, that counts as skiving. Skiving, I get day off. You could have been with us. And when we found it there in Poundland for £1, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. So
Yeah,
I bought
fucking get it.
Absolutely. That DVD went through fucking hell and back. But it was good.
I mean, I think it's also on Netflix now as well.
Interesting. I hope Matthew Broderick makes no money in residuals. Fuck you. Just gotta swear at Matthew Broderick for Him.
Did you ever watch the Gold Box?
Yes.
Remember they done an episode there?
Absolutely.
That
Goldbergs.
was fun. The Goldbergs is good. I love Beverly.
Oh, yeah. Did you ever have your own Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
Actually, I tried to.
Nice.
But it didn't really go. It didn't really go as planned, right? So I tried to fake being sick and that, right? So it was like I stayed in the middle of anywhere, essentially. Like I stayed up in a place called Douglas Water up in Lakeside. The place was a shithole. We had nothing. Literally, we had a park. They had one swing and a roundabout. We were at least 3 mile walk from a shop. That was never fucking open. Nah. So I thought, let's try and make my own kind of version of Ferris Bueller's Day Off. All my family now, like my mum was working, my dad was at his pals, my brothers and sisters were at work or at school and that. So I thought, I'll play that, I've got a sore stomach and that, and I'd try and get a day off. So my mum gave in and like so that you better not fucking be acting. I said, I'm not acting it, I've genuinely got a sore stomach. So alright, well, you know, like just make sure that if anything happens, you phone me. So then everyone goes out of the house. Then my mum goes to work, but then she works in Lanark, and the one place I try and go is Lanark.
That was smart.
But then I was going to get the bus to Lanark so that I could get the bus to Hamilton, so that I could avoid it. But when I went to go meet my pal Adam at the time, who I've not seen in ages, like, turns out that he was waiting for me in Lanark, and then he seen my mum, so he did and that, and then the weekend said, oh, I'm just waiting on Michael. And I was like, why did you do that? Then my mum phoned me and she was like, you're a wee idiot, you're getting to school and that. But I'm in bed, so I know, I've just bumped in the errand. I was like, what? So I just bumped in the errand and said, he's waiting, I'm sitting there and all, like, I'm in bed, and that's just saying something before. I was like, well, I'm a bit fucking screwed. So my pal essentially kind of fucking ruined it for me.
That's quite funny.
So that was
not the evil teacher.
Not the evil part where he threw me under the bus, but the fact that, you know, I would have got away for it if it wasn't for that meddling kid.
Scooby-Doo. That succeeded in mine. Succeeded. It's one day. Set the scene.
So-
It's school day, and myself, my pal Dan, my pal Conor, right, let's get up. I sawed off to Glasgow because obviously, like, I'll get on the train. We're all sat on the train. Yeah, because we met at school and first bell, I registered for school, you know, went in.
Yeah,
I went to Reggie. Straight out the next door, meet at the exit. It was COVID times, COVID Freeland this was for us. We hop on the train, we've got our masks on and we're heading on the train and we're like, this is good. But we're
Sounds
Googling,
like a good evil day off.
is there any parades on today? Because there needs to be a parade on. Sadly, there was no marches on in Glasgow on that day, which is uncommon.
I know, especially for Glasgow. I stay in Glasgow and I swear to God, man, every time I go in town, there's always a fucking rave or a parade or a protest or something going on. It's a nightmare.
Step one. Because if you're recreating Ferris Bueller's Day Off, you've got to recreate Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Go to a museum. Kelvin Grove. Here we come to Kelvin Grove, walk past the hydroplane bogies as we went. It was a belter of a day. Get into Kelvin Grove. Just sitting staring into tits, whatever it is you do.
Staring into the
in
big
Kelvin
fucking
Grove.
tits or something.
Hoping that there was a sea of children that we could join in on, but there also was not. Like, come on, Glasgow, you got to step up, be more like the States.
I know, Glasgow, get a grip of yourself.
We looked at the heads, the floating heads.
Oh.
I looked into the eyes of one of them quite some time. We saw some kids playing football in a football park. That counts as going to a sporting game, so that was that ticked off. We were like, right, there's no parades on. We'll make our own. We'll march down, what do you call it?
Sucker Street.
Not Sucker Street, we did Glasgow Green. Marching down there on the way to the People's Palace, with two of my pals, shouting, chanting, whatever they were chanting. Then we put on Twist and Shout and had a wee busking session.
Did you sing Twist and Shout?
Have a wee dance. And they were like, right, what else is there to do last? Nearly get caught. Well, that's not going to happen. Because, well, nobody cares, but as long as we get home, that's the important. Right, we need to go somewhere expensive for dinner. Spoons. So we went to Spoons.
I mean, shout out to Spoons, cannot go wrong.
We're still chilled, we're still skinny little bellends, you know, we can't go all out like Mr. Ferris. We've not got any lashes to impress, we're just having a good day, and then we made it home successfully and nobody got
The
caught.
question that's on my mind is, in the film, Ferris's best friend throws himself in the water to try and drown.
We did not have a swimming pool. We've had to have
He's have River Clyde. But I would highly recommend you don't throw yourself in the Clyde.
Yeah, you wouldn't come back.
from the Clyde. So Vanessa Christie Swanson
Yes,
is also in
fucking
a
subject.
bunch of Hallmark movies. And she gets up and she's annoyed because she had brunch to go to. It may be the weekend, but she has brunch to go to because she's a party planner.
Yep, and that's how she essentially gets parties planned, by meeting people who just can plan the parties.
Is it?
Well, that's what she says in the movie, but really, I think she just wanted to get away from Sonny.
She's wearing a red bra, and that's important.
That is important for
Bra
her,
theory.
for her lover.
Bra theory.
Oh.
What's your knowledge of bra theory?
Red is to impress somebody.
Damn
When
right.
you're going to get the nasty, no good deeds on.
Damn right. Bra theory, highly important. So
Yep.
I was taught this at the ripe age of whenever I was in secondary school studying media.
Oh.
Psycho features Marion Crane, who genuinely has character development through the colours of bras that she wears. Her white bra at the beginning of the movie signals that she is pure and innocent. She is yet to commit a crime. Then she steals a shit ton of money and now wears her black crime bra.
Yeah. I mean, understandable, black eyes for crimes and stuff.
I passed media studies by writing about the colours of women's bras. That's a very funny statement. So let's go through all the other colours and their meanings for anyone who wants to study and get a degree in bra theory.
All I'm going to say is, it's a good thing none of us are wearing black then.
No, it's a good thing none of us are wearing bras.
Yes,
black
bras.
is bold and empowering. It's a classic choice that shows power and class. Red is for passionate. It's daring. It's the colour of passion, desire and energy. Pink is playful and romantic. Blue is calm and sensitive. Imagine waking up and
Do
thinking,
you have a blue bra, Ryan?
I do not actually know, but I was like,
Unfortunately.
if I was to have a bra, I think it would be a calm and sensitive one, yes. Beige is subtle and grounded. Yellow is optimistic and energetic, so that you wake up and you're like, I'm just going to open the drawer, get the gear out.
So,
I think I'm going to wear my yellow bra today because I am feeling energetic.
a bit like Sonny in the movie.
He doesn't.
If he was to wear a bra, he would be the yellow.
Green is fresh and balanced. I've just got out of the shower. Done
I
the
just
green
put
bra.
my green bra,
When it comes to bras, choosing red lingerie often signifies confidence and sensuality and a bold, assertive personality. Whether it's a fierce crimson or a rich burgundy red, bras exude a passion, excitement, making them a popular choice for special occasions or intimate moments, which leads to the question, because she's falling out of love with Adam Sandler, A, why was she wearing a red bra? Did they get it on last night? And B, is she wearing a red bra because she's going to not just try and get business with the party planner people through party planning, but also she's trying to get herself a new man.
Yep. But in retrospective, she wasn't wearing anything when she got up out of bed, because then that's when she runs downstairs with the finger cover up, and then when she opens the door, she's wearing the red bra. So does that mean that they both of them did do the nasty? And did he just not satisfy her enough in order to make her run off to go with the party planning people? And then when he goes back with Julian,
These are the questions you've got to ask.
You've
like,
got to
why is
ask
she
your
wearing
questions.
a red bra? And more importantly, why does she put on a red bra, right? And then she puts on a jacket.
I know, without even a fucking top.
It's
These are the
cold
questions you could-
outside.
It's in the middle of fucking October,
You're going to a restaurant. They're going to ask to take your jacket off.
and you're going to fucking plan parties. Or are you?
You're just
Party planner.
You're just guessing. I mean, she's planning one hell of
She's
a
planning
party.
one, yep, the biggest party of her life.
She needs a father figure in her life, not because she needs one, but she needs Adam Sandler to be a father
Yep.
figure-like character in
Yep.
her life because she wants to be a parent.
Yeah, and she wanted more. And
She
then,
needs more, and he's like, a van ran over my foot and I got 200,000 because of injury money.
as
He's
that
right
was
in a
three,
goddamn
she was
alley.
3 years ago. 2 years ago of 1 day full of extreme pain. But my question is, what did he do with that £250,000? Is that how he managed to go and become this pure wild person before he met her? Or
I reckon he did fuck all. But that's a good thing, because he didn't need a job.
yeah, and that's why they're saying maybe he should get a real job. These are
I'm
the
sure he's
questions.
still got residual 200,000 in his pocket. Like,
Yep.
I'm sure he's doing right. Vanessa, she needs time to think. So she's like, you know what? I'm going to go visit my mum. I'm not going to take a suitcase with me. I've got my trusty red bra with
I've
my
got my trusty red
intimacies with my
bra, I'm
mum,
gonna go
and
see
I've got
my
my
mum.
jacket.
Aye.
All I need.
That's why I need to go see my mum.
So when she gets to her mother's house, what colour of bra would she put on?
Would she go for the blue, calm and sensitive? Would she go for the beige, shuttle and grounded?
Is there one for the irritation and anger? Perhaps because she's angry at Adam Sandler and she gets irritated by him.
I don't think women have anger bras,
No.
but I'm not a woman,
Yeah.
and I don't have the green bra theory. So if you are qualified, what is the angry bra?
We would love to know.
That sounded well creepy.
Nah. You know what?
It's important, okay?
Yeah. We
It's
don't need to know.
film
It's important.
theory.
For films, it's important.
So I just got caught on a side I was like, no, there's a reason she's wearing red, and I want to break it down. He works in one of those like security toll booth things where it's like, have you seen the trailer for Big Daddy?
Yes.
What the fuck is the trailer on?
No.
The trailer opens with voiceover man being like, if you want to get in and out of New York City, you have to pass one man. Meet Adam Sandler.
Of course.
Huh? That's not what the film's about. The film is not about him being the guy that dictates whether good or bad people get in or out.
Exactly.
To the, and then you only get what you give plays, but that's a good wee tune. Yeah, everyone in his life basically wants him to step up and improve. So it's been established here. His partner,
His friends.
Vanessa, who is another V-named love interest of Adam Sandler, by the way. Stop me if you've heard that one before. He has a tendency of naming all his female love interests. His names begin with V. I think he did it in like 5 or 6 movies. Sure. His dad wants him to step up. He arrives home to a surprise party. But he got the good surprise.
Yeah, he got the good surprise. And then Layla, who comes into it later, her sister, hates Sonny and she locks herself up because they ruined the good surprise on him instead of Kevin, who the big surprise was actually originally for.
Sandler's roommate. She locks herself in the toilet. And I really enjoyed the slamming of the toilet that she said it's really obnoxiously loud. But she was wearing the colour red. That's established earlier on in the movie, about 5 minutes.
These women in the red brass.
Anyway, yeah, she hates Sonny. Her name is Corinne.
Corinne.
Now, I originally, when I was taking notes, referred to her as purely as Boobra, but then went back and edited her name to Corinne, so my notes are no longer as entertaining. She's Leslie Mann, star of 17 Again, Drillbit Taylor, 40-year-old Virgin, The Bring Ring, Knocked Up, Blockers,
Some decent movies there.
Vacation, Rio, and one of the greatest movies ever made, The Other Woman.
Oh, The Other Woman is a good movie.
Absolutely. We've then got one of Sandler's pals who's weirded out at some gay men kissing.
Yeah,
so
it's like their brothers, yeah.
Yeah, they're good pals. So then he and Sonny talk about gay for a while.
And then,
just conceptually.
Yeah, it was just sensing that he still Sonny's pal was saying that he still feels uncomfortable when they kiss around them. But then Sonny says that when he's sensing they're like we're brothers, yes, but now they're like our gay brothers and that, so what is what gay guys do.
Then he asks if he's going to a clan meeting. Casual Ku Klux Klan reference out there. As you do. The word client has been said way too many times at this point in the movie. Oh, that's where you get potential clients, says Vanessa. Oh, client, lawyer, client. Then a guy says some Chinese words in his goodbye speech. That's Kevin, who's rocked up and spoke boring admin to his partner. He once shaved his ass to win a $5 bet.
That is a classic part of the movie.
Absolutely.
And then he's like, showers! Just kidding.
I don't know why I made note of that, but I felt like it would be useful.
It's a comedic part of the movie.
Absolutely.
And if you haven't seen Big Daddy before, watch it. You'll enjoy it.
It's true, yeah. Sonny kind of definitely then ruins his proposal, and it was awkward as
yes,
fuck.
It really was.
He was like, oh yeah, I give them 2 weeks before they break up, and then literally it's like,
you're not going to propose, are you?
Oh, you've cut me off. You've cut me just like he. Just like he. Cut. Perfect.
It's like the movie is.
Absolutely, that's what we're going for.
Recreating the movie.
That's what we're going for. You see, we're smart here at the GP.
Yep.
Your local medical practitioner and friendly podcast.
Yep. And then is that dead awkward moment. Then it just sits down. And then it's that. Well, yeah. Then she says yeah.
Big Books McGee says yeah.
Yep.
And, well, that's them short. He married, she hates Sonny.
Sonny.
Why?
That's because, like, you know, I've had a few theories in this. So is it because that she really just doesn't like the fact that he's not really grown up, he's not going anywhere in his life, or is it because that she feels like he's holding Kevin back, or is it because he makes so many jokes about how she used to work at Hooters for like 5 years? There's so many theories.
Well, that's the only one that there's evidence of.
Yeah.
Because outside, he's playing golf on the roof.
Happy Gilmore quote.
What the fuck? This guy just casually plays golf on the roof. How do you...
How do you even play golf on the roof, man?
No further questions. But he then's like, Big Books McGee. She was a Hooters waitress and now she's pretending to be a doctor. And he's like, no, you don't call her Big Books McGee. No, you call her Doctor Big Books McGee. Sure, shut up, John. The two guys then talk about their parallel lives. And then he's like, right, if I nail this pot, she loves me not. Sorry, she loves me so. He's playing with the floors and all that. And then he successfully nails the pot, and a miscellaneous rat creature steals the ball, or eats the ball, or comes out of the hole.
Yeah.
What?
And then
what is the symbolism here, right? Because if he nails the pot, she loves him. He nails the pot, but she doesn't love him. But a rat's there. Is there a rat in fucking Old Balls?
Like, I know, like that's
I don't understand.
I don't understand it because like that was the part that kind of confused me as well. Because like there's no other rats in the movie, and he makes a pot.
He's in New York. There's a lot of fucking rats kicking about.
Like, there's a lot of rats kicking about, but you only see that one rat in the movie essentially. But it's just.
Did you clock onto what this movie was sponsored by?
No.
It had two very clear sponsorships for me. Budweiser.
Oh, yeah, that was obviously in the parties.
Every single time they drink a beer,
yeah,
it's a bottle of Bud.
Yeah.
And the other one I'll get very excited about later when it pops up. Then a child arrives with a letter, and another child who's been like, I've been paid $5 to bring this kid here. Who by? Who gave you that $5? How did this child find you? Did the mother drop off the kid, give you $5 and send you up? No, you said it was someone from downstairs. How did the child find his way here? Who are you, strange child?
Exactly. And
are you the messenger of like, death? Are you the harbinger?
Like,
are you God?
Like, how is it that the mum actually dies? Was it cancer? Yeah, because I thought that, because I'm sure they briefly mentioned it and stuff.
Cancer.
Yeah.
Sonny then phones Kevin, who is John Stewart.
Yep.
Of John Stewart, I've wrote there because I don't need to explain that one. The letter says it's his kid.
And the mother of the child is called Julie.
And the kid's called Julian.
So
what did she do? She was lying there, gives birth, and she's like, you know what, put an N at the end of my name.
It's either Julian, not Julie, or Jane, but I'm sure it's Julie.
Fair enough.
Because I was doing that. But then, because that's an actual calling in that, because I thought, if her name's Julie, did she name the kid after her?
Almost definitely.
And then obviously that's why it's Julie N. And that just so that, because maybe when she had him that, maybe that's when she found out she was sick and she wanted a name to live on and stuff.
Oh, right. Well, that's not happening. He's Frankenstein to me. Corinne tries to talk to the kid. Because she's cleaning up the party the next day because John Stewart's like on his way to China and all that. Yep. And she's like, hi. And kid's a mute. Kid's not saying shit. He does say he's from Buffalo though. And Adam Sandler's then like, yeah, I'm on the phone to Uncle Remus.
Yep.
Uncle Remus is a fictional title character and narrator of the collection of African American folk tales compiled and adapted by Joel Chandler. It's about the slave life. That's Uncle Remus.
Yep.
Interesting.
Of course, it would be an Adam Sandler.
Interesting. Sonny's like, it's alright, Kevin, you don't need to come home, I'll take care of this. And then he just, I'm pretty sure says Hooters 3 times in a row to Corinne to Bible and Hooters.
And then she's just like at gym all the time.
Kid's got a beanie.
Kid looked cool.
Kid does look cool, but not yet.
Yeah.
Kid's about to level up. Oh. Sandler is wearing a white t-shirt and blue jeans.
Sponsored by Adam.
He really is the Homer Simpson of media.
I can see that. He really is.
Just a lazy man. I mean, curious as an actor, individual yourself, like to break down Adam Sandler's performances at points, and that's
Yeah.
something that will become relevant nearer the more performancey parts. But the kid's got drip, I've noted here, which
Yep.
is a very valid point, Ryan. And he's got John Wick style answers.
Oh, he does.
Like John Wick has an entire sequence where he just kind of goes,
Why?
well, Cole Sprouse, Dylan Sprouse, Julian Frankenstein, they why'd so John Wick could why. It's the
Yeah.
why.
It goes on
versus
for a good
why.
solid 23 minutes of just why. So softly spoken as well.
And then he'll shoot you. Sonny takes the kid a walk to Central Park to watch rollerbladers fall over.
Classic scene.
Absolutely. But right before they cross the road, the kid just kind of stops, puts his hand in the air because he needs his hand to be held. He's
Yeah.
so small, it's very adorable.
It's so cute.
Just kind of takes his hand and they very cutely helps him along the road. They watch the rollerblades fall over. Adam Sandler asks kid exposition questions such as, how old are you?
Yep.
5. Do you wipe your own ass? I wipe my own ass.
Yeah.
Useful information to know about child. I mean, I don't want to ass, so like,
Yeah.
the Sandler. Then Adam Sandler is frustrated because nobody is falling over.
Yeah. So then Sandler thinks that it would be funny to show the kid a good example of putting a stick right at the bottom of a hill so that rollerbladers can go and fall into themselves and land in water. Then,
That guy gets seriously hurt.
then laughs and then says, "Oh, did you not see the stick there? Somebody should really move it." And then it just completely changes this full mood in that scene. In a good way.
It's an Adam
I
Sandler
know.
comedy. He causes serious harm to this guy who's dressed like Kill Bill, though.
And then me, Julie's just sitting there like, what the fuck's going on?
Julian finds it funny. He finds harm to men funny.
Yeah.
And women, I suppose. Then we hard cut to the telly. And what's on the TV? Fucking Columbo! It's Columbo on the telly!
Yeah.
I fucking love Columbo.
Aye.
Big Cal used to watch Columbo all the time, like it's class. And you've got Rob Schneider's delivery driver character being like, he's smart, but he pretends to be stupid.
Yep.
Ah,
The delivery driver.
like Adam Sandler.
Yep.
Well, that's a very self-referential line, 12 movies into his filmography. That's great. Well done, movie. And as we watch Columbo, it just got me thinking back to him. Those good times watching Columbo. He's so good, Columbo. Callum's very great talking about Columbo. He did a top 10 TV shows. Columbo was in that. Watch that. It's on, I think it'll be on Spotify, that one. Maybe on YouTube. I'll upload a bunch of the podcasts to YouTube. Not relevant.
I'm
This
not
is-
for the videos on YouTube, so.
This is just me stalling for time whilst I try and regain the train of thought I was having. Yes, the delivery driver's character, Rob Schneider, he was not meant to be a part of the movie.
Alright, really?
He was meant to be in one scene. I'm assuming the one at the very beginning when
Yeah.
she's like, the delivery driver's your best mate.
Yeah.
And Corinne says that. But Adam Sandler's just good pals with Rob Schneider and just kept inviting him back
Yeah,
to set to
it
get
was
paid.
because I feel like it was in near enough every single scene in the
Yeah.
apartment.
Absolutely.
At one point,
He made so much money from this movie when he wasn't meant to be in it, but Adam Sandler's good pals with him and just kept inviting him back onto set. Like,
And,
Jesus, Sandler.
Well, like, my favourite scene is when they're trying to read the boards. That's a good scene that's coming up.
Oh,
That was
I
such a
can't
good
wait
scene.
to talk about that scene.
I love that scene.
Scuba Steve the toy is introduced.
Oh, gotta love Scuba Steve.
But Scuba Steve is just a shite action man.
Oh, yes. I mean,
Action Man didn't need the snorkeling equipment, Action Man just did.
why does it look like a mustard bottle? It literally looks like
Kid
mustard.
likes ketchup, man. The Scuba Steve action figure.
35 packs of ketchup.
30 packs, too. The Scuba Steve action figure in the movie is a fictional doll made up by Adam Sandler. Scuba Steve is based on a doll that Adam Sandler owned when he was a child called Diver Dan.
Ah, yeah.
Diver Dan can be seen briefly in the intro scenes of another Dennis Duggan film in Problem Child in 1990.
Oh, didn't know that. I need to look out for that if I watch that movie.
Oh, you know. Then Adam Sandler, who is trying to think of like activities to do with a child, says, "Shall we go to the pub to watch the goddamn Jets win the football?"
Aye.
That's why they go to the pub. Then our bar lady who rocks up, that's Jackie
Yep.
Sandler,
Yep.
Adam Sandler's wife, who gets
Oh.
her obligatory appearance
Yep.
in this movie, and then
And she walks up and says, "What are you doing here, Jane?" And he's like, "What's in the
goddamn
name?"
Jets win.
Aye. Who do I win? The goddamn Jets.
Yes. And then Sonny's like, right, can we get 2 root beers, please? How long does it take for these root beers to be pulled, glassed, and brought to the table?
Literally, within the blink of an eye, they're already there. How the fuck is that even possible?
6 seconds.
6 seconds.
6 seconds.
And need you to say, it's not like they're small glasses, they're quite big glasses.
There is one cut, and he answers one question. I was just baffled. And then Sandler kind of gives us his exposition, basically. So he was at law school, you know, he passed law school. He and his pals who all passed law school, they used to come here every Monday. But then he kind of like, they started doing actually lawyering, and he kind of didn't after he got ran over. He was like, I don't need to do it, and I'm 200,000 up, which is fair enough.
Yeah.
I would do the same.
Who wouldn't?
Then there's a creepy old guy in the pub, and he laughs. They pipe up about having like a fight or some shit.
And then saying that last week was a one-off, it was a fluke.
Pretty much. Then they teleport home.
Yep.
Who won the Jets game though?
That's a good question, do you know?
Very important part of the movie, but it's never explained.
Because like, I watched the movie last night, and I watched it last week, and I still do not know.
So, the movie was released on October 1st, 1999. We are just going to assume that the movie is set then, seeing as we are about a month from Halloween. Because Halloween takes place 4 weeks into him having Julian.
Because then also he's only got Julian for 6 weeks, so it must have happened with him the first
So this
2 weeks.
is day, 2 of him having Julian.
Be Julian.
So say movie 1 is, day 1 is October 1st, day 2 is October 2nd, he's got Julian, it's October 3rd. The Denver Broncos versus the Jets, 1999, it was a win for the Jets.
Yes, the goddamn Jets won.
Because we've got the fucking history here. I did some Wikipedia, and the goddamn Jets got the win. Sonny then tells the kid all about Vanessa to basically try and put him to sleep, which is when he says it's 2:30 in the morning. You legit went on a night out with that kid. You facilitated your own night out with a 5-year-old. That's fucking insane, and I respect that.
And then, need I say, when V. Jolene asked if we could get a nightlight, what part and what adult would think that it would be acceptable to get a live nudes sign from a strip club and put that right next to a 5-year-old's bedside as a nightlight?
Gotta train him.
I mean, it's a good thing, but I'm like, 5 years old, you know, starting young.
Kid asks for a nightlight and hugs his toy. Sonny gives him a nightlight which says live nudes. Absolutely.
And then it puts the kid to sleep like a baby.
Absolutely.
So
Sonny asks him if he had a fun day, and he's like, had a fun day. Did like a fun day, to be fair. Like, I'd love to just keep putting day that kind of shit.
I know, like go to a bar and watch people chip up over 6.
Which leads to, and watch Columbo. More importantly, they watched Columbo.
Yeah.
Highlight of the day right there. What's the second sponsor of this movie? What's the clock branded? Pepsi.
I've got to say Cola or Pepsi.
It's Pepsi. It's Budweiser and Pepsi. They're the 2 big sponsors for this movie. It's the morning time, and the kid asks, oh wait, no, it's not. It's still in. Well, it's 2:30.
Yeah, and he said, can I get a soda?
It's 2:30, and the kid asks, are you my dad? Sonny's like, we'll figure it out in the morning. And in the morning, we do some more Central Park rollerblading. And Sonny, he says to his pals, his sooty pals, his lawyer pals, thinking about keeping the kid.
Yep.
He's wearing special, odd-looking sunglasses. He looks like Daredevil.
He actually really does, you know.
He does look like him. Oh, what's Daredevil's not Daredevil name?
I've only watched a few episodes of Daredevil.
That's going to bug me. I know Charlie Cox is the actor from the TV show, and it's Ben Affleck movies.
Could you not Google it?
I can Google it, but I was
because
hoping
that'll
it would
go
come
for
to
a
me.
minute. Because that'll bug me with that.
Daredevil. Well, that's not how you spell Daredevil, but we're going to hope it's right. Matt Murdock. Damn right, it's Matt Murdock. Learning all sorts of bullshit today.
You learn something new every day.
He then phones Arthur Brooks, who's like the foster guy, and he cancels the foster family that was set up.
For little Frankenstein.
Arthur Brooks is Josh Mostel of Jesus Christ Superstar and Billy Madison.
Oh.
He's also the son of Zero Mostel. I don't know who Zero Mostel is, but apparently he's a big deal.
No. Never heard of him.
Lovely. Then the kid, whilst this is happening, throws a stick down and hurts a skater.
Seems about right.
Now,
if Adam Sandler's raising him.
Now these skaters are nerds. Because our earlier skaters were going way too fast.
Yep.
But these ones have literally brought orange traffic cones, set them up and are zigzagging, and they are skating around like school children trying to do bikeability.
Yep. So they can do stunts and show off.
It's not cool. You're wearing protective headgear. You look like a nerd.
I know. Take off that helmet at least. Nerd.
Exactly. I hate nerds.
I'm so big ability actually when I was walking down my theory test today and I was passing through a big ability bit and I was like, do I try and like make a kid react to a hassle? Well, that's too mean. What if it's their test to make
It would have
it
been funny.
It would have been. I was talking to him, an old school teacher of mine, Mr. Robertson, great lad, love him dearly. The kid wakes up, Sonny, because we've magically teleported back home now, to tell him that he wet his bed. Sonny's like, the song that's playing is "Sweet Dreams Made of These," which is my favourite thing about Adam Sandler's movies is some of them are shite. But he always gets the music right. The music always is so thematically linking to what's happening on screen. Sonny simply places newspaper on top of it and goes back to bed. But the kid rolling around on the paper aggravates Sonny, who is sleeping.
Yep, there's that. Stay still.
Who is sleeping in the jumper that he wore that day.
You know. Do you know? I think he sleeps in all the clothes that he wears the next day.
So he's sleeping in the jumper that he then would get up and wear.
Yep.
But he wears a t-shirt during the day and sleeps in a jumper. You know what?
I'm not even going to try to question
it confused me. I know it genuinely does not matter. I was trying to think, is there an in-character reason for this, or is it just a costume? That'll do. It's definitely just a costume. That'll do. But like, I was confused and found it quite funny.
That's quite confusing. There isn't always that much going looking for that because I've noticed it, but I've not actually noticed it. Noticed taking that. So.
Kid tries to make cereal, let him pour some milk, and he pulls it everywhere. He cries. Sonny does what?
Walks on Scuba Steve
Covers it in
newspaper. Then tries to go over to Julian, and then stands on Scuba Steve, and then he screams. And then Julian thinks it's the funniest thing he's ever seen in his life.
Watching men get hurt pleases Julian, the little sadistic fuck.
And then, where did they go after that?
Why? It's about 10 o'clock. That means there's still time for McDonald's. Their breakfast don't shut till 11. They go for McDonald's breakfast. But the kid, Julian, he can't tie his shoes. So he is taught the simple lip it, swip it, pull it technique.
Yep. And then...
I don't know where I'm going to have to put this to get it in camera. Right, so like, loop it, swoop it, pull it. Yep. Holy shit, that's it.
Look that.
I mean, it doesn't account for double knotting, so I guarantee you Julian's shoes came undone all goddamn time. Yep. So I'm just going to double knot that. I mean, well done, Adam, you actually know something moderately helpful.
Yep.
Wow.
But
Sonny,
then, what would Julian's taking too long? So.
Well, as they're walking, Sonny literally back in my days, McDonald's is a concept to the kid. He's like, back in my days, it used to just be burgers and fries. Now you can get whatever you want. You can't get whatever you want because you might want Cheerios.
Or lasagna.
But Julian won't cross the road because he needs the handheld. So he gets the handheld to cross the road, and now the kid needs to pee. He really needs to pee.
Yep.
Like really, really, really needs to pee.
Yeah. And so then Sonny goes into a restaurant and asks the manager very nicely, can my kid use the bathroom? But then the manager's like, it's only for customers. Bear in mind, it's a fancy Italian restaurant. So in the movie, they have an alternative option, which is
at the wall.
Right at the bit where the manager's standing, they go and they pee on a door, but then Julian has stage fright.
Which is weird. Because the solution Julian has to stage fright is to get another man to stand beside him and piss at the same time. Julian's got the opposite of stage fright. Julian, as we'll get to later, is going to grow up to be a kinky bastard.
Yes. And then, him that was so desperate to go and pee, he just couldn't go. Until he had to get Sonny to go up and stand right next to him.
Look, a father and son have to piss together. It's a bonding experience. Piss on him, piss together, And this is how...
Everybody pissed on him, that was funny.
We have to get the movie poster somehow, and this is the movie poster. They piss...
They piss in a red door.
I think the only thing that can make it funnier is if they piss side by side, hand in hand.
I know you can do better than that, hand in hand, like just holding their things.
The restaurant is Felix's, and Felix is written on the wall that the kid pissed on, and I was like, I wonder if that has any relevance. I'm reading too much into it, because in the kid's bedroom there's a giant J on the bedroom wall, so I was trying to understand if they had any relevance. I don't think they do. Then Steve Buscemi does what he does best, which is show up an Adam Sandler movie. And he's the homeless guy, and he explains his life battle and what his story, his battle with mushrooms, and the kid. Goddamn Julian just keeps asking why. And what's the conclusion that Steve Buscemi gives the kid?
Like, he was
watching Fantasia too much.
He was watching Fantasia too much, and it's how his life went to shit, and then it's how he would rather sleep in the street than go back, because then he starts to tell Julian his life story about why his dad and why he wouldn't want to go back and love his dad, and then it just keeps on going on. He was saying, why? Another bit of a story. Why? Then Sonny says, if you shut up, I'll buy you a Egg McMuffin or something. And then it just puts himself to sleep.
Steve Buscemi then proceeds to say a sausage McMuffin.
Sausage McMuffin.
Just to get it right.
Yeah.
Familiar with Fantasia?
Similar, not big enough yet.
Basically just the most batshit mental thing Disney ever did in an attempt to try and get new eyes on the product was they had like 8 segments, and you'd watch them in a place with a live band banding it. But then it was actually really, really dark and quite creepy and depraved what was happening, because it was made during the war. So it kind of was buried in Disney's catalogue before being brought back up in recent times. But that's one of the reasons why Steve Buscemi blames Fantasia for him. Because, I mean, mushrooms and Fantasia, that was also a big thing for Fantasia, was a lot of kids used to do drugs and watch it and be like, oh yeah. Especially in the 60s. But they arrive at McDonald's 30 minutes too late, because it's 10:30 that the breakfasts are stopped served. So then Article 20 McDonald's stopped serving breakfast in 1999, 10:30 or 11 was the answer. So good to know. It varies depending on the state you are in. And I couldn't get specific for New York.
Yeah.
But, you know, they don't... Julian then asks for Cheerios, which they don't have, and lasagna, which they don't have, and then Sonny accidentally makes the kid cry. Can someone get this kid a goddamn Happy Meal? He panics, he doesn't know how to react. Yep. Then he passes by Steve Buscemi on the way out now with Happy Meal. Julian on his carrying him like this, and Steve Buscemi asks for an Egg McMuffin. I thought it was a sausage McMuffin. You went to Steve Buscemi. Did that movie just make a mistake? The Mistake Hunter Ryan was on it. Yes, it did. Eat shit. Sorry, I got excited when I noticed a mistake, because up until this point there hadn't been really that many mistakes, and I'm a sucker for mistakes. I was the only one Adam Sandler movie that's actually pretty good.
Watch the Titanic at some point, you'll find out good mistakes in that movie.
It's too long. Sandler then legit gets himself hit by a car.
No, that is funny.
Is it?
I mean, it's funny to watch, but it's not funny to do in front of a kid. Nah, just because Julian says, no, because he said, Joe, I see me hurt myself again. And Julian is still crying, nods his head, yeah. Then Adam, aka Sonny, jumps in front of a car while it's moving. Big
what
logo.
if you were the driver?
Who was the driver? Like,
you're just a driver.
Alright.
But would you not be traumatised that you
I know, literally,
a father in front of his child?
Not literally, I was going to say, he jumps out in front of the motor, then it just goes like, oh, are you okay? I'll just go fucking run her by you.
To which Adam Sandler responds, next time, kill me. That's fucking traumatic.
In front of a 5-year-old little kid?
I mean, one day of parenting killed Adam Sandler. I think it killed me as well to do a day of parenting. I'm not a child-friendly man. I mean, I might do alright.
I mean, I've got 5 nieces or 4 nieces and 1 nephew, so I need to say I'm child-friendly, otherwise I'd get murdered by my family.
He carries the kid home and gets pissed on.
And of course Adam Sandler's wearing the jumper that he fell asleep on the night.
This is when Ryan's notes was, this kid's into some kinky shit.
Oh, that kid is.
Well, it's definitely going to grow up to be, because you piss where you want, you piss on who you want. Like, he's pissed on a man, he's pissed on bed, he's pissed his bed, he pisses on walls.
He pisses on a plant in fucking school.
He's got live nudes literally right beside him as he grows up.
Then you're in the school and you're sitting pissing on a plant.
He likes watching people hurt themselves. Like, this kid is going to grow up to be into some kinky ass shit. He then plays the repeating things game with Sonny whilst he's on one of those boingy while Sonny's trying to watch the hockey, which is when Adam Sandler gets to do the classic and tells the kid to shut up.
Yep. Because then he's bouncing and he keeps on copying everything Adam Sandler's saying. Is that nasty?
But how much would Woodchuck chuck a Woodchuck chuck good with?
Yeah, that's a bad. Get out of the way. Then that's when he's at the kangaroo song.
Kid's too hungry.
Kid's too hungry. So Sonny legit puts the kid in a food coma by feeding him the house.
Literally. And then it cuts just till you see the kid pass out on the fucking table.
He's dead.
He's dead. He's in a
That's
food
our
coma.
first death of the movie. The second, there's 2 cans of Pepsi on the table and Sonny eats quietly and reacts quietly to avoid waking Julian, but Julian wants to watch the kangaroo song. This kid needs to know his place.
Yep. But then...
Like, just wait. Hockey's about to make history. Just give it a fucking minute and you can watch the kangaroo song.
Hockey, first time in... It's like, it happens like every 10 years or every 20 years where you get penalties in the hockey game. Then me, Julian, the kangaroo song, the kangaroo song, the kangaroo song. And then Sonny repeatedly screams, "Oh right, you were normal yesterday."
He was normal yesterday.
Because that shows his frustration of this little kid.
He was normal yesterday as well. And the kangaroo song then happens and it might kill me.
Yeah.
It hurt a lot to watch.
It hurt,
Hop, hop,
but
hop, 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 hop.
I'm a kangaroo. Hop, hop, hop. And then, even is the kangaroo at Halloween.
The kid then spews and gets newspaper.
Of course.
The kid pisses on another cafe wall. The kid is scared that Vanessa isn't nice to him, so Sonny offers him magical sunglasses
that
will
makes
make
him invisible.
Then Sandler gaslights this child into believing the glasses are actually legit real. Sonny and Julian then visit Vanessa.
Classic scene.
Right. So, Tim Hurley played the singing kangaroo. Tim Hurley is the writer of some Saturday Night Live sketches. Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, The Wedding Singer, The Waterboy, Big Daddy, Little Nicky, Mr. Deeds, Bedtime Stories, Grown Ups 2, Pixels, The Ridiculous Six, Hubie Halloween, and Happy Gilmore 2. My God, Tim Hurley, you have wrote
a lot of Adam Sandler stuff.
Shit ton of Adam Sandler movies, including this one. So the kangaroo was played by the writer of the movie. The more you know. Julian takes his shades off because he feels comfortable around Vanessa. Sonny explains that he adopted them a kid, but someone is in the toilet. It's Sid, the old guy Vanessa is now into. He has a 5-year plan. And was that a 5-year-long party? Am I right?
The red bra, him, it's all coming together.
Sid is played by Geoffrey Holm from The Bridge Over the River Kwai. And Big Daddy was his last ever acting role.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. Interesting.
Yep.
It's a fun one to end on. The kid puts his shades back on because old balls are gross. My notes in isolation are very amusing.
Yeah.
Sonny's house must stink.
Oh, big time. With the piss, the
spew, milk, all just newspaper, that smell and aroma. I'm pretty sure that guy does not use deodorant.
Oh, I've never once seen him put on deodorant.
I guarantee.
And he never once changes the beds. And I've never seen him wash any dishes.
That was Vanessa and Corinne stuff. That's what they do.
And then he's friends in that as well. Like whenever they come round to the flat,
it's just littered with Scran and Pepsi and bottles of beer.
Bottles of beer, Pepsi, bloody snacks and poker cards. That every time Julian plays his cards, I win and steals them all.
Sonny pretends to be Kevin and visits Austin Brooks. He basically is like, I can't manage the kid. I want to give it back. Julian's mother died of cancer, but Julian has learned how to tie his shoes now, which is very exciting.
Yep, because then he taught him how to do that, and then that made Adam Sandler, aka Sonny, feel very proud, and it made him think, I don't want to give the kid back, I'll keep him till they find a foster family, because he genuinely does really care about the kid.
He doesn't want the kid to have to go to an orphanage.
And it's really hard for him when the kid gets took.
Aye, so Austin's like, right, we're going to pretend this never happened, we're going to kind of handshake you, I'll find a family, you look after the kid, but that's how long you've got the kid for because you're no fit for it. Sonny then calls his dad and he tells him that he's a grandfather. His dad gets angry because, his dad was playing golf at him. They shout at each other on the phone.
And then then he starts slamming the phone down. I'm
saving you money on this. Dad's in a bunch of random movies, but nothing notable, by the way. Yeah. Then we get the classic upside down puddle shot of a movie, which is where you see buildings, and then the camera pans up to reveal that the building is actually the reflections in a puddle, to show you that the world's about to be flipped upside down. It's a classic bit of film 101. Sonny then explains that real dads aren't always great.
Yep.
He asks a random guy who won the Jets game because he still doesn't know. You stayed and watched the Jets game.
to have to. You must know who won the fucking Jets game, you madman.
Unless maybe he was fighting with the old man again. You know?
Unless it's been a week. Of which case, the Jets would lose to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
It's interesting though because he's in the bar all the time and they mention the Jets and the Celtics all the time in the movie. But yet, not one person in the movie genuinely knows who wins any fucking game.
Then just by shit talking his daddy makes the kid cry. Then he's like, you know what, you can do your own, Julian. Do you even like that name?
Like,
Pick it. You should be able to choose your name. Go for it. Pick a name.
and then he's got into like Frankenstein. Frankenstein, alright?
I can cope with that.
I can live with that.
You can do what you want. So then he plays with Scuba Steve in the pub.
Yep.
Then they play Shite Rounders.
Oh, yep. And Adam Sandler beats the fuck out of the kid with the fucking balls. And he's still
Pretty
telling him basically to man up and ease through the pain.
I hate baseball.
I know.
It's just Shite Rounders. Just play Rounders. Rounders was so fun at school.
Like, Rounders is fucking fun.
And then they try to make it baseball and softball at secondary.
Nah.
Back half. Just get the Rounders
It's
back.
Rounders. That's
Aye,
it. Like, you throw the ball, you fucking bat it, you get score a home run.
Baseball's a Shite Rounders. Absolutely. It should be called Rounders. The kid's allowed to dress who he wants. So he dresses like a cowboy.
Yep.
He then teaches him the sleeper hold. He successfully applies a sleeper hold. It's Chief J Strongbow, legend professional wrestler, to
Literally does the guy and then
yeah,
puts him
to
asleep.
delivery driver Rob Schneider, who just again was invited to set to I guess get choked out.
Then he just appears.
This is great parenting.
I feel like
Freeing your kid. He pretty much drops dead.
Yeah.
So that's another body that's just passed
Yep.
out on the.
You know, and then I love the fact that, you know, they don't even acknowledge the fact that he's just lying there for hours.
No. He gets the kid a slingshot. They watch the TV with the dead guy in the house, and then Frankenstein murders all of the birds. All of the birds.
Literally every single bird. There's at least 15 to 20 birds lying on that rooftop.
It's insane.
Then Sonny, being the good father figure, does take the slingshot off him. So
And
just
he
go to bed, just go to bed.
Grounds him or
Yeah, just
doesn't
doesn't
do
go
it
to
for I don't know.
But then again, interestingly, did Sonny
Oh.
clean up? Did Sonny get rid of all the dead birds? Because we don't actually really know what
Cool.
happened to them.
Dead bird smell as well.
Because we don't actually know if he got rid of them because they never go back on the balcony. See after that scene, they're never back on the balcony.
It's now Halloween,
Exactly. So.
of which means that the Jets game could have been any one of these games.
Oh,
It could have been the October 11th game against the Jacksonville Jaguars, of which they lost. It could have been the October 17th game against the Indianapolis Colts, of which they lost. It could have been the Oakland Raiders game, of which they lost on October 24th. The first game, the one from the bar, they definitely won, but the game he was asking that kid about could have been any one of those three.
yeah.
How many dartboards are in this house?
At least 2 or 3.
I don't know. Why?
I know, because like them. I don't even think there's a scene where they play dartboards. I don't even think they play darts at all.
So they go trick or treating, and I could not for the life of me figure out what wee Colin Dylan Sprouses was dressed up as. It took me forever to realise it was the kangaroo. I thought a pumpkin and orange. What the fuck's going on here?
Like,
A
I
lobster.
thought, like when I first seen that, I thought it does look like a pumpkin, but then you just see the wee fucking kangaroo ears
It
flopped
was
in.
the face paint that got it for me.
The wee orange eyes.
Yeah, so they do trick or treating, but this guy ignores them because he's on a genuinely serious phone call. So Adam Sandler commits his first, maybe 15th crime of the movie and breaks and enters.
Just tells Cole, not just tells wee Frankenstein, just wait here a minute. Goes round the back.
And then he forces the guy to basically give
A box of cereal and CDs.
everything he owns.
Yep.
His Rolex.
A Rolex, like 7 or 8 CDs in a box of cereal, and then pushes him and says, be prepared for next year. Is that a threat? Who knows?
Kid hits a guy with a bit of wood. He asks for 30 packets of ketchup, of which he proceeds to eat. And then he does one of them horrible looking grog.
Yep. And then he's got, I taught him that.
Some Pepsi drinking. And the kid, Adam Sandler's like, what do you want to do? And he's like, I want to go to school.
See, I'm not telling him what to do, you know.
Education.
The kid just makes it done.
So-
It's like, well, know your Monday, kid, just
Middle of
enjoy
Monday,
it.
absolutely.
Then do your thing again. That one touch the ground.
Frankenstein with a colander on his head runs away and he sees a woman.
Yep.
It's Corinne's sister. Smooth plan, Sonny.
Yep.
She sees through it immediately.
Yep.
Frankenstein pees on a tree all by himself, which is like a big moment.
Oh, yep. Big moment for wee Frankie.
Absolutely. Her name's Layla.
Yep.
She has work to do.
She's a lovely person in the movie.
Absolutely. Sonny then uses Frankenstein to blackmail her into a date.
Yep.
She's played by Lauren Adams of Coneheads, another Adam Sandler movie, and Dazed and Confused, which is a pretty good movie. So the date is that night, and she sits doing this to a coffee cup for like too long. I'm like, what
I was wondering why she was doing that.
are you doing? It's like you've been told not to just sit there wooden and awkward. You've been told to kind of do something instead of like, I don't know, swearing. You were like,
Instead of doing anything, you literally walk up and you're just like, to coffee.
there's also a bar in this apartment.
Oh, I noticed that. With the bar sign.
Frankenstein needs to be said goodnight to before he can sleep.
Yeah.
And
As all that
what did he learn that
boys
day?
and
How to initiate the conversation and how it's half of the battle.
Then, that's true. Then also, what else did Adam Sandler say he gave to Frankenstein? He said he gave him a sleeping tablet to put him to sleep so to keep him, that should knock him out for the night.
But we don't see that.
And also,
I don't think
was
that's
that in
true.
theory or was he just saying that? Because then
I
after
think he's
that,
just saying that.
because then after that, that's when they had to go up and read him the story.
Yeah, I think he was just saying that. They both love sticks.
I know, like, what the fuck is this show of sticks?
Famous for Come Sail Away. It's the only song of theirs I know. Come sail away, come sail away. Only thanks to the Goldbergs I know that song. Despite their friends making fun of both of them.
Yep.
Sonny makes up so many lies. And he tells us so many lies.
Yep.
I think it's a joke, I'm not sure. She's not into 6-year-old guys, neither is he.
Thankfully.
They read Frankenstein's stories because he can't sleep.
I know.
Like children's stories are actually pish.
Oh, the actual. Oh my god, I've got a funny story to tell you about my lecturer. She says that she uses children's stories, Halloween stories, in order to create acting stuff for herself. She's saying like she reads a lot of Wayne's stories, and that like the Cat in the Hat, and she would say that she used the cat. She said she would use the Cat in the Hat to create an acting scenario for herself.
Fair enough.
And that's so she uses Halloween stories. She reads them also, she does. And now she struggles with like reading that, so she said that she
get some enjoyment out of it because man, they are pish.
so she said that she struggles with reading that, so she does. So she said that reading is like a way to help her with her dyslexia, like she struggles really pronouncing certain words and that. So she says that reading Wayne's stories and that to her Wayne's, she reads them out loud and that so that she can express it. She tries different accents and different acting stuff in that way, and that, just to make the stories engaging and entertaining for her Wayne's and stuff.
Absolutely.
And that, so
it's a good thing
like,
to do.
so whenever we were doing like stuff in that in college, she would come in with like loads of Wayne's books and that, and she would say that she would want us to like pick one, we would all sit in a circle, and then she would like pass the book around that.
Amazing.
And she says like, Joanne says, I read like a line or a page out of a book and that, then when that book's finished and that, we'll start another book and that, and whoever didn't get to read, we'll just continue the part and stuff and that. So we end up all bloody sitting in a circle one day for like a good hour reading like 5 or 6 Wayne's books.
How much room is on the broom though? Or what's the other one? Like how many animals can I fit in a house?
How many animals can I fit in a house? Then we read the cat and the dog, the cat and the mouse.
We get to the Gruffalo at any point.
Oh, the Gruffalo! That was the last story that we read.
Yeah,
That's a very
the goated one.
That is a very very informative, intriguing story, I would say.
Judge books by their cover, they're fucking terrifying.
Oh no, like some of these covers were fucking like, what the hell is this? How's this for me? But then some of the books, you just wanted to go to sleep. You wanted to go, how can somebody actually physically enjoy this book?
Well, that's the point of them. They have to put a child to sleep.
They've got adults to sleep, no Waynes.
Well, aye, but dude, once you finish reading, you might as well go to bed. Your child's going to be up in a few hours at times. So you might as well get a couple of hours sleep.
Like, she was saying that she was reading the books and she was putting herself to sleep and the Waynes aren't even falling asleep. She actually said that.
You must have been a shite book. Not as good as this one though, because this one is about peanuts and carrots, rabbits and squirrels. They're just fantasising. Never mind. Oh god. But Adam Sandler, so he's the rabbit, right?
Aye.
And Layla, she's the squirrel,
Aye.
right? They're now sex talking over Frankenstein, basically. This kid is going to have kink problems.
Yep.
He's going to want to be referred to as a fucking rabbit.
Yep. And then how the rabbit wouldn't get a kiss from the squirrel.
But Scuba Steve
But-
sure as fuck can.
But she said, wait, let's kiss Scuba Steve so that somebody can get some action around here.
That's an action man right there. So she makes out with a doll.
And then she says, good night, Scuba Steve.
We then get cut to school and we get my favourite Frankenstein outfit, which is like the fish bracelet.
Oh my god, just the full
Yes.
fucking fit.
And he's like, I don't like
The
these
cool
kids.
Davis.
This kid just immediately gets the vibe and he's like, I don't like
yeah.
these kids. So he gets the magic
And
sunglasses.
then he's like, I don't like these kids either.
I mean, me neither. I mean, I don't know. We don't get to meet any of the kids. Arthur Brooks may have found a family for Frankenstein, but Sonny likes his new relationship, so he calls Lila, who is, conveniently,
A lawyer!
a lawyer. That's our, 15th lawyer of the movie.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Because, if she wasn't a lawyer, what would she be?
Not in the end of this movie.
Oh.
So Sonny is waiting for Julian to get out of school so he can have a bit of fun. He does his laundry. He's starting to get better at life. I don't think he's ever done laundry in his life, so he laundries with Layla. Sonny goes to a park to play and talks drugs to children so that they won't get Julian into drugs and alcohol.
And they're sitting there with their yoo-hoo.
Yoo-hoo, sponsor of the movie. I like the tier. Children have Yoo-hoo, adults, working adults have Pepsi, and Budweiser is for the drinkers. It's a great tier of sponsorship. Frankenstein then goes to the shop with them.
What does Sonny drink? Because in the movie he drinks some Pepsi.
Purely Pepsi, is it not?
But then he did have a wild life before Julian came in the picture with all the stories about how he got drunk and passed out and then he missed his funeral and that.
Yeah.
Remember? So does he still drink?
Bud.
Or
Purely Bud. He drinks Bud a lot in the movie.
Yeah.
The opening scene. It's Budweiser.
I was going to say, I wasn't sure if he drank
way.
a lot of Pepsi or if it was Bud or if it can
Oh, he drinks both, but mainly Pepsi. When Julian's around, of course. Frankenstein has eczema. They're in a shop. They do then he can't have price joke because Microsoft dropped 3 points. Bubra, I forgot to change the name from Bubra. Corinne shows up and she's like, I don't like this laundry date you had with my sister, bad boy. Then she puts peas on the kid's eczema and then Sonny talks about her boobs.
Yeah,
He talks about her boobs too much. Pipe down, me man.
Like, just cause she worked at Hooters,
Do not go to the freezer aisle.
Yep. And then it's funny though because we Frankenstein kind of say eczema is saying I've got eczema.
That's probably how I pronounce it if I'm being honest.
Eczema.
He and Layla then go on a cool date.
Yep.
And then we see that he got photo booth photos with Julian.
Oh, they were cute before.
I know.
And then when Julian was
done
picking when Julian was picking his nose in the photo and that as well, that was a weird photo.
Can't keep it. I've never done a photo booth.
Like, I've only done it once and my pal stole the best fucking photos. I'm one of you, Miles.
I'll get around to him at some point, I'm sure. Kid's dressed as Boy Jaws now. He
As you
left
do,
with,
you know.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. He was left with Sonny's mates and he's learning poker and he wins.
Aye. Or
No, he
so
wins.
he says.
He wins.
Win.
He wins. The rules are if you say you win, you win.
Ah.
Arthur then comes visiting and asks, tells the guys to tell Sonny to call him.
Yep.
Thanks, Arthur. I love that this little plot thread still exists. Sorry, I forget the cuts to stories. So of course we were talking about Corinne and Hooters and Bubra and all that. So Leslie Mann still has the brand shirts that she wore in the movie. Other than her tendency to get far too emotional when the good surprise is wasted on someone else and our overall dislike of Sonny, the running gag of Leslie Mann's Big Daddy character Corinne is that she was a former Hooters waitress, but for the part Mann had to wear plastic pads in her bra to increase her bust size. Mann later
she does have big boobs in the film.
I mean, they're not real. That she only noticed men being nicer to her whenever she had bigger breasts, but she found herself naturally becoming more fluffy when she had them in. On top of that, Mann told them that she insisted that she got to keep the plastic pads after the production of Big Daddy wrapped, and she spent the last 20 odd years continuing to powder them and maintain them so that they won't disintegrate. A process she does routinely once a year. Leslie Mann, I respect you a lot. The other woman is amazing, but you are fucking mental.
That is mental.
Sonny and Layla then slow dance.
Yep.
Then they just talk for a spell. This is outside of Corinne's place now, which is quite nice.
Yep, that's a nice wee...
But nowhere as nice as his.
Yeah.
Sonny then finally gets a kiss in the classic spot of movies outside the house after the first date. Man right of frame, girl left. But bloody Corinne witnessed it.
And she's like, oh my god, what did I just witness? The first kiss?
And then she insinuates one of the other reasons she doesn't like him because he's poor.
Yep. But then, how could he be poor if he's got 200,000?
Well, he must be getting to the end of his 200,000, but...
yeah.
But look at that man's house.
I know. The man has a fucking great house.
That man is not a poor man. That is one of the most expensive stuff. That's an old warehouse converted into a flat. Frankenstein is wearing a Hooters t-shirt now.
Do you know, I noticed that last night.
We're in school. Sonny came to visit. The teacher explains that the kid did some kids rollerbladed, and he put a stick in front of him. Thought it was fucking hilarious. He
done something, then they covered up with newspaper.
Absolutely. There's a spillage of something. Covered it in newspaper. Frankenstein then pisses in a plant and isn't making any process. And apparently he is the smelliest kid in the history of children.
And she makes that very clear because she said she's had some very smelly kids in the class, but his son is by far the smelliest she's ever taught.
She does like a Matilda straight to camera address. It's quite funny.
Yeah.
Why is then we learn that he's not like learning the founding fathers that they've done. Why are you in genuinely kindergarten teaching these children about Benjamin Franklin and the founding fathers?
And making them do a play on it.
That's insane. Julian then plays some video games, and that Hooters t-shirt is really fucking long. So that's Corinne's old Hooters t-shirt.
Yep.
That she still A owns and B just left around Kevin's house.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So let's look at the apartment of Sonny, because there is no way that you can call this man poor. When you look at that,
that is not a poor apartment.
He genuinely has a bridge in his apartment.
Yeah, he's got a bridge and a really expensive staircase.
His apartment looks like Urban Outfitters.
It really does. And Urban Outfitters is a stunning job.
He's got a genuine booze case of very expensive booze.
Yep.
He's got a puggy machine. A pinball machine or something, like Space Invaders.
Yep.
Obviously stolen, but nonetheless, he's got one.
And it's very expensive.
What else have we got here? He's got a jigsaw style door. Again.
Yep. Like just
over.
Yep. He's got a steel hard metal bath.
His toilet does have a urinal in it though.
Yeah.
I think we needed scenes of Adam Sandler teaching him how to piss in a urinal there.
Yeah.
But like, why is there a urinal? I mean, I suppose it is an old warehouse that they clearly are living in, but I just found the urinal and piss are really funny.
Mean, did they not, in a scene, did they not actually go to a urinal with him?
He took him to a urinal. Yeah. But there was literally one in his
house. I know, you think he would have taught him there. What I think is hilarious is, every single time they were in the house, they never once went to the bathroom. It was always whenever they went outside, they always had to do a pee. That was quite a funny thing about it. They never once used the bathroom.
So I'm just trying to understand the geography, because this is obviously the bathroom that Corinne goes in, slams down the seat on earlier on in the movie, but it doesn't look the same from this angle. Oh, what a shame.
Oh, look, there's the dead birds. As spoken about earlier.
That is quite the view of outside.
Yep.
And up here we have just a wide shot of the apartment. That is not a cheap place to live. That is central New York. I've raised my case, this man is not poor. The Kangaroo song is then played, which is driving us all mad still. Yep. So Sonny dresses up as Scuba Sam, Scuba Steve's father.
Yes.
And he's like, kid, if you want to join the Scuba Steve Scuba gang, you gotta take a bath.
With my son, Scuba Steve
needs a bath. And then afterwards you study. And then you can get back to playing your video games.
Yep. And if you want to do that, you can become a part of the Scuba Squad. But remember, keep it quiet, because then everyone else will like to join.
Once again, gaslights the child. The kid has to wear a bathing suit in the bath because, well, fucking yes.
Yes.
Benjamin Franklin invented bifocals, we learn. A kettle's used to wash his hair. There's a reference to Barney the dinosaur, which is always appreciated. And then they buy matching white suits.
That is, when I seen that scene, I thought that is cool.
Yes. And this is when he introduced him to urinal etiquette.
Yes.
It's always a space. Always leave a space. But you're at the child one, so I'll stand next to you. Like, urinal etiquette's great.
Like, they look really cool in their wee matching suits.
We then enter a montage. It's the same as the montage earlier when they were like throwing sticks in front of things.
Yeah, but then we've got
but it's the positive
slow down
version. Yeah. He then teaches the kid, like how Father Ted taught Father Jack in that one episode of Father Ted. Remember Father Ted?
Yeah, I've watched episodes of Father Ted.
Greatest health intro of all time. Stick by. You've seen the episode where he stands with a sign
and
he's teaching Father Jack, and he's like, drink.
Yep.
Trying to get him to say the word yes, and that will be an ecumenical matter.
Yep.
So he teaches the kid like Father Ted teaches Father Jack. It's like white paper with black big massive text on it to teach the kid Julian how to say constitution and electricity. I got so happy when I saw that, and then I was like, oh man, this movie is just Father Ted.
In Philadelphia is the third word.
Because as we opened on the cold open, the
the Father Ted Christmas special originally opens with a child being dropped off at their doorstep, and then
Yeah.
it's like, oh no, we might have to look after a child. We'd get up to all sorts of hilarious hijinks, but it's a bait and switch,
Yeah.
and that's not what it's about. It's actually about them getting stuck in the lingerie section, Ireland's largest lingerie section, and they'll have you believe in Ted getting an award for it, but someone trying to steal it. This movie actually steps up and delivers on the what if they did just have to look after a kid. Beautiful. So, fun facts about Benjamin Franklin. Ryan has on this next slide a link to Benjamin Franklin facts. I believe we've got 33 facts about Benjamin Franklin that I guess Julian must have learned.
33 facts about Big Benjamin Franklin.
Benjamin Franklin was once the richest person in America. But he could have been richer if he patented his inventions. He never patented any of his inventions. He played a crucial role in achieving American independence, as we would see found in Fathers, as the scene they recreate. Benjamin Franklin almost died trying to electrocute a turkey. I could elaborate.
Didn't know that.
He published a lot of obscene writing. He once wrote a letter titled Advice to a Friend on Choosing a Mistress. The controversial letter contained many sexual references.
When was that?
16th, 19th century.
So,
Franklin also wrote about farts.
alright.
In 1781, he wrote an essay called Fart Proudly.
Fair enough.
That's interesting. He published one of the first famous American political cartoons, Join and Die. Shocking facts, but he was a notorious womanizer. Well, that makes sense. He invented the odometer. He suggested something similar to daylight savings times. Benjamin Franklin was the 15th of 17 children. He was the early proponent of inoculation. Don't know what that means. Franklin invented the flexible urinary catheter. He had only 2 years of formal education, which is said in the movie. I'm telling you, Adam Sandler used this website. He published his early writing under a female pseudonym, because writing, as we know, is for girls.
I've never heard of any of these facts.
He was briefly a fugitive. He retired at the age of 42. This is the
He was a
lead scene in
fugitive.
the movie. Briefly a fugitive. He had his doubts about the American Revolution at first. His son was a British loyalist. He started the first volunteer fire department in America. He was a champion chess player. He was never the president, but he was the first postmaster general of the US. He was a great swimmer. He became a fashion icon whilst living in Paris.
Benjamin Franklin,
Yes.
fashion icon.
He perfected the glass harmonica. He became an abolitionist later in life. He left huge sum of money to his favourite cities. He lived his life according to 13 virtues. They included temperance, silence, order, resolution, frugality, industry, sincerity, justice, moderation, cleanliness, tranquility, chastity, and humility. He thought he could improve the alphabet.
Improved the
Now
alphabet.
this one's worth reading. In Benjamin Franklin's idyllic version of the alphabet, he trimmed it down. There was no C, J, Q, W, X, or Y. I mean, we don't need Y, X, W, or Q, I suppose. Just, why do you hate C?
I know,
Benjamin Franklin.
How would you even say the alphabet if you went to take out all the letters? A, B, D, E, F.
He liked to take air baths in the nude. He enjoyed discussing philosophy over some drinks.
What's this, man?
The remains of 10 people were later found in his basement.
wait,
That's the final fact. That's the final fact. They make you really like this guy for like 33 points.
You to read that article, the remains of 10 people were found in it.
From 1757 to 1777, Franklin lived in a 4-storey home on 36 Craven Street in London, and when he renovated it into a museum in 1998, construction workers made a disturbing discovery: human remains. At first it seemed as though there was only a thick bone sticking out of the dirt floor, but after authorities were called, officials found a whopping 1,200 pieces of human remains belonging to 10 folk, including 6 children. The remains were more than 200 years old. Fortunately, the reason these skeletons were stashed in Franklin's house wasn't as grisly as it may seem. Franklin had allowed William Hewson, a former anatomy student, to use his basement for practice. It's unclear whether Franklin knew the man was working on cadavers. Benjamin Franklin
What the
You
fuck
entertaining
was-
little man.
What the fuck was he doing?
He got all sorts. He invented bifocals. That's the only interesting fact the movie had. But we have
We have a
33
lot
more.
of information.
Right, that's Old Man Benjamin Franklin. Those we can get back to the movie now.
I've got a lot to think about now.
We're in Central Park and they have signs saying slow down to skaters, but Steve Buscemi, it crashes and it dies. The Founding Fathers play happens. It was performed excellently. I thought
It was.
thoughts,
I thought it was.
For 5-year-old children.
Yep, for the 5-year-old children. That. And then we Frankenstein just sitting up there waving away.
Absolutely. Frankenstein is great as Franklin.
Aye.
It's poker again. He wins
Yep.
because
He wins because
he wins.
He cannot not win.
But who's this bad guy? Oh, it's Arthur. He arrives and he calls out Sonny for being Sonny. Mr. Koufax. He says either he takes Frankenstein away or Sonny
Will
is
get
arrested. With the two policemen doing the
Yep.
stare. Sonny
For-
tells him that he has to
for
go away for a little
kidnapping.
while. He wants to say goodbye. He
And
won't
it's
be able to
just-
see him anymore. He hugs Sonny and Sonny begs him not to go, but he is taken.
Like, I know, like that part, like that bit, you know, you feel for them so much that scene, that, you know, like when he puts
Absolutely.
away that, and then because you can see how much they care for each other, and then you're like, oh, don't go, but then you know, them to go, and you're like, oh.
Rule of thirds as well, because it was at this moment that as they're walking away, hand in hand,
Oh, yeah.
and there's a shot where they're ripped.
Aye, when he's,
separated.
yeah, when his other tactic is
Apart.
on, and then his dad just pulling him.
Poetic, visual storytelling right
And
there.
then-
He's just saying, I wipe my own ass, though, I wipe my
exactly.
own ass. I'll never listen to the karaoke
I
Kangaroo
don't-
song again. I don't even like
I
it.
don't even like the song anymore. I wipe my own ass, but I wipe my own ass.
Sandler's just kind of like, I don't care.
I know.
But that's
so
it.
sad.
It's
such
over.
it's such a sad scene.
He's dragged away.
That part breaks me every time.
Conveniently, all of his friends are lawyers, so he goes to visit Layla, who's conveniently a lawyer. He then says about 5 minutes worth, sorry, what could have been 10 minutes worth of movie, where he did so much off-screen work to get Julian back. He's now got the court date set up. He did so much work off-screen, and Layla basically now has to choose between work life or the idea of a family,
Yep.
essentially.
And then, because she says in the kids were never in her future, and that's why she didn't really get involved. Then Sonny says he never ever thought about kids and that, and then this wee boy Julian, he never ever thought about him that, but he's fell in love with the kid and that, and he would do anything. So his plans have changed. So
The kid showed up on my doorstep, I fell in love with him, so my plans changed.
you know,
Absolutely.
and then so
A cover of Sweet Child of Mine
oh yeah,
kicks in, and it's a banging cover as Adam Sandler dissolves from places around his room scheming.
yep. But even watches the Kangaroo
watching
song
the
himself,
Kangaroo
you know,
song
like
himself.
that just shows you how much in that he's like, oh, wee Julian.
The court hearing's on Tuesday.
And then Layla shows up.
Layla shows up to represent in court, and then I put in highlighted in yellow. This is a good film.
Yeah, it's a great film.
The old man from the bar is in the stand and saying that he will fight Sonny. That's his character. Buscemi explains his dad trauma.
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah. If OJ can get away with murder, then
Sonny can have this kid.
He can have this kid. He should be acquitted of all charges. He only does this for the bribe of a McDonald's sort of egg or sausage McMuffin.
Yeah.
He then points at a black man after mentioning OJ. That was him.
Yeah.
Interesting, Steve. The delivery driver, Rob Schneider, explains his story, all explaining Sonny is a good parent to Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Kevin, the real dad, joins the council of Sonny.
Yeah.
And then Corinne goes up and kind of explained the shopping trip that she saw them both on.
Because then the guys are anyone here that doesn't like Sonny, and then she just goes up because she despises him.
Julian is then called up as a witness and Layla asks him the questions, but he gets the sunglasses from Sandler to give him the confidence to talk in public. He's from Toronto. He had fun with Sonny. He lists all of the things he learned from Sonny, such as the sleeper hold, how to pee on buildings, and that Styx is the greatest American rock band, and they only got a bad rap because most critics are cynical assholes.
Yep.
This quote seems great. Julian says his mum would have picked Sonny, of all the men, to be
Yep.
his dad.
Because his mum and Sonny were good friends.
He even took the sunglasses off at this point.
Yeah.
Sonny calls upon himself and asks his dad
To
to
represent
question him because remember this from the phone call 77 minutes ago when he mentioned his dad was a lawyer. Because if you forgot, you'd be very confused right now. But his dad's one of the top lawyers in New York City.
And then, like, he does, but then the people that don't want to give Sonny the Julian that, they think they shouldn't have his father represent him, and then his dad says that he thinks his son's a moron, and then that's when they say, you know what, let it go ahead.
Absolutely. His dad grills him
His
about
dad
the story.
just does not like him
And
at
the
all.
worst parts of his life when he's irresponsible because he just does not want him to have this child at
Then,
all.
yep, the sense to give him control over another kid is insane.
Sonny says that he loves his dad and tells him that he's scared that Sonny might fail. Sonny says he loves the kid too much to
let that
fail.
happen.
He'd
And
give
he
his
would-
life for the
yep,
child so he never felt any pain.
Yep, he would die for this kid and that. And the reason he is saying all this is because like he doesn't want Sonny to fail, and that. So Sonny's basically explaining how his dad makes him feel and how his dad should feel about him, and how he would never ever do anything to let anybody ever hurt Julian. And that is really quite an emotional scene.
Absolutely.
It's
Just
dead
like
hard
how
to
his
just have
dad,
that.
who does not particularly support him, flew
At
all
all.
the way to New York to support him.
Yeah, just to try and bring him down.
He says he has a sugar mama in Layla.
And then
And he-
the homeless guy's like, "Oh, gotta give me money then."
Absolutely. He
I've got a
brings,
sugar
his,
mama who makes plenty of it.
he brings his dad to tears, and then everybody in the court called their parents to tell them that they love them.
Such a nice wee scene.
His dad supports his son. And just before Adam Sandler is arrested, because he still kidnapped a child and commit fraud, Kevin, the real dad, steps up and he's like, I refuse to press any charges. I
This kid's real
met a
father.
girl in Hooters 6 years ago. This is my kid. He's got a type in Hooters girls, I suppose. And then court grants Kevin responsibility pending a DNA test. Julian hugs in and runs Sonny, and Sonny's like, we could be best friends, we could be family.
Yep.
And I'll always be
And I'll
around.
always be your best friend. I'll always be here for you no matter
Absolutely.
what.
I mean, I feel like the movie has done a lot in the past 10 minutes. Basically, we went from him getting the kid taken away from him, and the court scene was literally the next scene. You rushed that ending, didn't you? You could have done with a little bit of time in between. Sonny walks Central Park and explains the kid, Julian, to Kevin. Kevin's got great hair, is my note there for some reason.
He does have good hair.
Absolutely. Kevin hurts himself on a bench.
Because of Julian was the
Entertain
bench.
Julian, absolutely. And then he gives Julian bangers. Man, bangers are something else.
Oh, like, you've got to love the meme.
We made a teacher cry once, Susan, man.
Oh.
PSC, Miss Peacock, everyone in the class, just the entire time, just fire. Sorry, IB, interdisciplinary learning, bullshit class. Anyway, Wednesday afternoon, last thing we got fucking done. Throwing these bangers down, she burst into tears, but didn't see her next week, and instead we had the head of the school be like, right, folks, she's not in today, she doesn't want to teach us. Get your game together, none of these bangers, to which someone simply responded.
Yeah. Like, I can't remember when that, but it was a few years ago. I bought a packet of bangers and that, and I kept on throwing them around.
Where'd you buy them?
Like, they're selling a lot of the wee shops now.
That's fair enough, they're all selling in the do anything shops.
If the next time I see them in the shop, I'll pick you up a pack.
Just want them bangers, I think
I'll buy you bangers.
should all them bangers.
Now, like, so I bought a packet years ago and that, and I kept on throwing them at Megan just to irritate her.
Of course.
She wanted to hurt me. And I was, what's her saying? Pissing her off.
We then dissolve to a montage of friendship between Sonny and Frankenstein, recapping the movie.
Yep.
Now, based on the timeline, it is the beginning of December now.
Yep.
So we're about to get off to Christmas.
Yep.
It's very exciting. I love a Christmas.
Yeah, gotta love Christmas.
1 year, 3 months and 6 days later, though.
Yeah.
So
What happened
we
in
are
the year
a year
3 months and
later.
6 days?
So we are in middle of March.
Middle of March, yeah.
Cool. We have a suited Sonny, who is now a lawyer.
Surprise, surprise, they put it to great action.
Speaking of surprise, it's a surprise birthday party in
And
Hoot Tits.
Yep.
Hooters.
And guess who they ruined the good surprise on this time? Sonny.
But it was his surprise.
Yes.
He's actually now a dad, which is insane because he
Yeah.
met Corinne and 6 months in,
Yeah.
they had sex and had a child, and she didn't even want to kiss him on day one. So
And she cut her hair and looks really different.
absolutely, all the jokes have nice payoffs. Frankenstein is Kevin and Corinne's kid now. There's some more Hooters jokes.
And Vanessa and Sid both for cat.
Hooters,
And Sid's 5-year plan must have turned into a
10-year plan.
amen.
And there's some Pepsi and ketchup on the table ready for them to scran. We then get a freeze frame ending, and so concludes Big
Like Daddy.
Daddy. What would like the British equivalent of Hooters be called? Like, can you just imagine the big bar? Titties.
Aye. Big tits.
Tits. Yeah, because tits the kind of bird.
Aye.
Oh, yeah, that would work. Because it's got to be a bird reference, fair enough.
Yeah.
Don't do that, Britain. Don't.
Well, I would
Oh,
not be
that's
surprised if
awful.
they did do something like that in like a few years. With the way the world is going.
No. Hooters is going to get cancelled first.
Colin Dillon and Sprouses both lost baby teeth during production and had to be fitted with temporary replacements.
What?
One tooth
I
fell
didn't
out in the
know
middle
that.
of a take. Near the end of the movie, just after entering Hooters for Sonny's birthday party, Sonny makes a reference to Judith dealing with missing teeth.
Huh?
Because in the production of the movie, they're actively losing teeth. How enjoyable.
Like I said, you learn something new every day.
Some more facts about the movie. Arthur Brooks is named after Adam Sandler's producer, Brooks Arthur, who produced all of Adam Sandler's albums as well as the score for this movie.
Oh.
Alan Covert has appeared in 14 Adam Sandler movies. Sonny's friend, Mr. Hillary, is named after the film's co-writer, Tim Hillary, who also played the singing kangaroo. Adam Sandler provided the voice of the rollerblader who fell over and yelled, "Goddamn sticks!" That was Adam Sandler. Dennis Duggan, the director, appears as the guy unprepared for Halloween. And he is also on the boat behind Columbo. Dennis Duggan gets about. The film, I mean, it was nominated for some bad directing and acting, I'll give you that much, but it won the BMI Film Music Award for the soundtrack, which included, this is going to be a bitch, Sweet Child of Mine by Sheryl Crow, When I Grow Up by Garbage, Peace Out by Adam Sandler, Just Like This by Limp Bizkit, Only Love Can Break Your Heart by Everlast, Gaga by Melanie C, What Is Life by George Harrison, The Kiss by Adam Sandler, Instant Pleasure by Rufus Wainwright, Ooh La La by Wise Guys, Sid by Adam Sandler, If I Can't Have You by Yvonne Elliman, Smelly Kit by Adam Sandler, nice, Passing Me Baby by The Far Side, Rush by Big Audio Dynamite, Hooters by Alan Covert, Babe by Styx, Overtime by Adam Sandler, and the Kangaroo song by Tim Hillary, made specifically for the movie.
Oh, I didn't know Adam Sandler could sing.
Yeah, he does some singing and some music.
Oh, that's interesting.
Jump by Van Halen, also in the movie. Jump, because it's on in the background of an answering machine.
Yeah.
The trailer has You Only Get What You Give by the New Radicals as its song, a song that would be used as the end credits movie for a future Adam Sandler movie, and Click.
Oh.
What's that song about? That song is about you only get what you get. It's only you get what you earn, basically. The opening to that song is work, 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 work. Something Adam Sandler failed to do for most of this movie, because Adam Sandler plays the same character in every movie. The critical reception on Rotten Tomatoes, Big Daddy has the approval rating of 39% and an average rating of 4.9 out of 10. The site's critical consensus reads, Adam Sandler acquits himself admirably, but the charm isn't enough to make up for Big Daddy's jarring shifts between crude humour and mawkish sentimentality. On the metric, the film has a weighted average of 41 out of 100 based on reviews from 26 critics, indicating mixed reviews. Audiences surveyed by CinemaScore gave the film a grade B+, which I think is a fair rating for the film. I think it's a solid B.
A fair rating.
Solid
I'll
B.
around to see.
Nathan Rabin of the AV Club called it Sandler's best movie, noting that Sandler possesses an innocence that makes the mean-spiritedness and inherent in his work passable and surprisingly palatable. Robert Coelho of Variety called it a step forward for Adam Sandler, as well as a strategy to expand his audience, whilst the loyal male teen audiences will not be disappointed with the spate of gags just for them. Pretty much. The story is a solid date night movie. That's a great review. Kenneth Turan of the LA Times said, there's no doubt Sandler is talented, but if he persists on believing that, like Elvis, his presence alone can cover a multitude of omissions and inconsistency, he will squander his gift and make a series of forgettable films in the process. Oh, Kenneth Turan of the LA Times, you would be so wrong, because he did just make the same shite movies, and he's the highest paid actor in the fucking world. Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times gave the film a 1.5 out of 4 stars. Why are you rating things at 4 stars? Is it not 5 stars? Describing the main character as seriously disturbed. Fair enough. Joey Lauren Adams' character as entertaining. Fair enough. Director Paul Thomas Anderson is a noted fan of the film, considering it's one of his favourites. Accolades for this movie. Jesus. Nominated and won Favourite Actor for Comedy in Adam Sandler for the Blockbuster Entertainment Awards. Nominated Dylan Nicole Sprouse and Joey Ray Adams for that. The TV awards, it would win that. The GLAAD Media Awards was nominated for the Outstanding Film. It was nominated for the Worst Picture, Worst Director, Worst Actor, Worst Supporting Actor, and Worst Screenplay. But at the same time, in the Kids' Choice Awards, it was voted the favourite movie and won by kids. So it went over very well with children, which is not the usual demographic in an Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah, I was going to say that. A lot of Adam Sandler films are quite older than the kids.
The People's Choice Awards gave it the favourite comedy movie. On the Stinkers Bad Movie Awards, it was nominated for the most painfully unfunny comedy, the worst screenplay film grossing over 100 million, the worst performance by a child in a feature role in the Sprouses.
This is all about Baby Daddy, yeah.
Yep, Big Daddy, absolutely.
Big Daddy.
Wow, that's an interesting amount of accolades.
Yep, that's a lot of...
What do you think of the movie? Now that we've broke down and spoke about it, what's your kind of end takes on Big
like,
Daddy?
I
very much enjoy it.
I still think it's a great movie. Probably since it was one of Adam Sandler's first kind of big movies and that as well, because they came back out in the 90s and that. I feel like it still holds up its good reputation and it still plays strong in that. So you consider, especially a lot of the movies that come out now, they are quite shit.
Churned it for money.
They're too rushed. They're quite shit. They're quite tacky, and a lot of the directors just think, because they let's just say since we've got a film that is really really good, then they'll just go and make a second film just for the sake of it because they think the old days just as well, and a lot of films just deserve to have their own film in that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Which is why, for grown-ups, for example, grown-ups, then grown-ups 2, it was just the same kind of shit, just in a different location, and I feel like they tried too hard to make it as good as the first one and stuff.
It's not like they tried at all.
They just made it as bad as the other one because they thought the more people act immature, especially adults acting in big wings and not hurting themselves and stuff, it's really pretty much just
It's
Jackass.
funny though.
It's Jackass in a movie sense.
It's funny.
But a bit with Big Daddy, I like the fact that they never made a second one. They just made the first one and that's why it should have been that because some films should deserve to have their own film. And I still think that it's got really comedic parts in that. They don't make films like that nowadays. And even though it is cheesy and it can be tacky in that, but it's got its reasons in that. And you really do feel for the characters. So as overall, a film that you can laugh at, and depending on your state of mind, you can maybe get a wee bit tearful. So you can laugh out at it, for different reasons and stuff. So
that one scene with the hands.
The hands and the court scene and that, so...
Court scene has probably too many jokes in it to be properly tearful.
But I think that it's a really good movie considering the films and that they do come out there now, and like I said, it still holds up well.
Big Daddy 2 has generated a lot of buzz among the original
I
Big
didn't even
Granddaddy movie fans.
Don't tell me the buzz
over
with
the previous 4 months.
For fuck's sake.
Many people are eager to hear whether Netflix has formally greenlit the sequel or when it could release,
my God.
and what the
Actual movie
storyline
second.
could be, since fan-made posters and speculation in these dates are all over social media.
Please
Still,
don't fucking make a second
Netflix has not revealed any official release date or confirmed the development of Big Daddy 2 in the face of all speculations. Actually, enthusiasts made the viral poster shown in early 2025. It has no official fidelity. The articles offer a thorough review of the present official status, a synopsis of the original movie's plot, cast details, the dynamics that underline Netflix decisions on making sequels, and what fans could realistically expect moving forward to help to dispel the uncertainty. There is a very good chance that in the not too distant future we will be seeing Big Daddy 2.
Well, let's just hope, if they do, which they shouldn't, if they do, let's just hope that it holds up as good as the first one and it doesn't go to shit. Because if it does, then, it's just going to be a cholesterol waste of time. But because it's...
So what would you do? What would you do with the plot of Big Daddy 2? And more importantly, what one are you taking? Are you taking Dylan or are you taking Cole? Are you taking the archaeologist? Or are you taking the... I forget what the other lad did.
Right, well, the plot of Big Daddy 2, I would have to go with Cole just because he's been in more films like Jughead Jones. He was also on Friends, and obviously he was in Big Daddy 1. But I know that Dylan was in Big Daddy and Friends and that as well. But Cole has more acting experience now, obviously Jughead Jones, and obviously for Zack and Cody and that. Then he also played in 5 Feet Apart about the film with cystic fibrosis and that. So he's had a lot more acting roles. So I'd have to say it would have to be Cole, just for obvious reasons. And I feel like if they were to do this, I feel like the story for Big Daddy 2, I feel like it would be Adam Sandler's Reen grew up, and maybe she started a family, and maybe she might get into well, and instead of being a wee boy, maybe they might try and resuscitate the first one, and that.
Do it with the girl.
Maybe do it with a girl, and that. But then maybe it's her friends or something.
Big Mummy.
Big Mummy.
Don't do that.
No. So
That's definitely a king thing.
especially it's bad enough with Hooters, we don't need Big Mummy in Hooters. No, it just wouldn't end well. Nah, so I genuinely don't know about Big Daddy 2, what this story could be. And it would scare me if I get to do something like Big Mummy.
No, they're not.
So-
it would be Big Daddy too because that's more marketable. I think what we do is we
What
have
do you think?
Dylan.
Dylan.
And we have Dylan Sprouses play the role of Julian.
Yep.
Because he's going to be away with Kevin and Corinne.
Oh, right, aye.
That's not the kid we're going to be focusing on. We're going to be focusing on Adam Sandler's child, surely.
Yeah.
Who could be Cole.
Oh.
And that also ties into the fact that Julian at various points in the movie that plays video games, he's quite into the video games, and well, Dylan would go on to study video games.
Oh, that
So you
would
can
make
have
so
that-
much more
You can have
sense.
this in this little bubble. You
Yeah.
can then have Cole in this little bubble, and you can kind of have basically everyone reunite, because what is it not if just a reunion? And then the plot
Exactly.
could be decided on the day, because it's not like Adam Sandler writes movies and follows scripts. He just turns up on set.
And
they
he
make
just
up
looked
as
up
they
in the
go
script
along.
and just waffles and all the shit, and they go along with it because they know it's Adam Sandler and they
Makes money.
Apply for Disney.
Absolutely.
What do you think this? What do you think the plot of the movie would be? Like Daddy 2?
I think we have that, so that's my setup. Is you've got the two kind of sides. Either how do we tie them back to each other? How do we bring them back?
Maybe.
Do we kill Adam Sandler?
You know, I would actually.
Do we kill Kevin? We kill Kevin, and Corinne's like, oh no, and then Adam Sandler then meets back up with older kid, only to realise that he's making mistakes that Sandler made and can ask to mentor.
Oh, aye. And then because his son was like a mentor to him when he was younger,
And
maybe
he starts to neglect his own kid in favour of the kid he wanted,
Aye.
which caused him to fall out with his actual son.
Aye.
Something
and,
like
Aye, and then Kareen, or whatever her name is,
that.
then she hates Adam anyway, like Sonny in it. So maybe she would, she would try, maybe obviously like, since she would be able to see that Sonny's favouring her win, maybe that would make her like try and plot something to try and make sure that she gets both of the wins and he loses his win.
Absolutely. Could learn something like that, right? I think that's
That would be
an
that,
engaging movie.
like if they were to do something like that, then I would vouch for Big Dad to do it, and I would firmly hopefully enjoy it.
It's very easy. All you need to do is sit around the table and come up with an idea in about 4 minutes time.
And
And
we'll
you've
actually come up with a
just
fun
got
movie
to got to take it and make it a good script.
We'll actually come up with a good movie script in like 2 and 3 minutes.
Easy.
So
And all we need is Adam Sandler to make jokes.
exactly.
I mean, we're not killing him. He's like the star of the movie, of course. We kill Kevin. We kill
We can
Rod,
kill Kevin.
Rod Stewart, because it's not like he's gonna.
Or we could kill one,
Involved.
or we could kill the the other person, no, one of the gay guys, but the.
No, we got to kill Kevin because that's like the dad of.
Yep, we've got to make it graphic.
Absolutely. I mean, it's not like it isn't already. Mum dies in the first one off screen. Jon
So it would, make
Stewart's dying
sense,
off
it would
screen.
make sense that the dad dies in the same one, so that the parents could be back together.
The film opens on the funeral, and Adam Sandler meets with Julian, and just like man, and begins neglecting his kid. You know, that's great. Good story.
Okay,
Considering Corinne and Layla are sisters, so therefore,
and then I think that would be fun. I feel like that would be fun to actually watch in person, considering Dylan and Cole are twins. So it would be fun to see how Dylan would
I
react.
make him like a step uncle. Basically, just do Daddy's Home,
Daddy.
but with Adam Sandler.
Oh my god! Imagine it was Adam Sandler and Will Ferrell instead of Mark Wahlberg in that. Will Ferrell.
You need the straight guy and the non, so it would have to be Sandler and Wahlberg.
How do you think it would play if Sandler was in Daddy's Home instead of
It
Ferrell?
wouldn't be as funny.
It would be as funny.
It would have made more money.
Definitely. I feel like Will Ferrell's good, but I feel like a
Is he?
lot of his not like. I would say he's good in certain things, but there's like Step Brothers,
Step Brothers, yeah.
Elf,
The Lego Movie.
the Lego Movie. So it was good in certain films, but there's other films that it's just boring.
Anything that's been released in the last 10 years, barring Daddy's Home, I'd argue.
Nah.
He's in Megamind.
So I would say like he's one of the actors that's really overrated, and people just like, oh, it's Will Ferrell, and they think he's amazing, when really
Yeah.
he's funny, but he's a shit actor. In a sense.
Yeah.
No one always
He
funny,
works
but
well in
like,
good comedies.
he makes good comedies and that, And a few of his films is good in that, but overall, I just think like I think he's tries too hard to be funny, even though because he's not that funny in that. But I feel like he's funny in certain films and that, but in other films when he's trying to be funny, it's just like you're actually just making a fucking ass of yourself.
Any closing notes on Big Daddy then?
If you haven't seen Big Daddy, watch it and report back and let us know what you think of it. You'll enjoy it.
Absolutely. This was episode 2 delving into the Sandlerverse. How did you find your first podcast?
It was thoroughly enjoyable. I enjoyed it. And I
really
would be
is
happy to help out in other podcasts and stuff, you know.
Really, it's just as easy as sitting down and having a wee blather.
Yep. And thanks for welcoming me to the first podcast.
So many freeze frames, and I'm going to have to do so much time editing on freeze frames just to make myself laugh. I do a little jingle that plays every time that sounds.
Yeah.
I've done this for whatchamacallit, 3 years now, and I still don't know how to end podcasts.
It was a fun podcast to be a part of, especially for the first one being part of the Sandlerverse.
Back on laptop, back on, I've got it. I know exactly how we're editing this.
So, what's been your favourite podcast you've done recently?
This one.
The Sandler one. That's fun.
Switch on laptop. I was gonna end things how you have to end a podcast when it's Gallus and Adam Sandler's involved. Thank you for switching on laptop.
Is that your Asus laptop you've got yet?
It's just a crappy Acer, but it does its job. I'm doing my quiz.
Mine's is Lenovo.
Got it a few weeks ago.
Like, my laptop is generally, like, I mean, you're seeing photos and that, when I've seen the photos and stuff, like, it's one of the things that, it's a shitty kind of laptop, but the screen is like 13 inches, like, it's fucking massive. And sometimes when I'm on it, I'm like, sometimes I forget how big it is, and I'm like, see whenever and see because it's not a popular laptop and that, and like, because I've had it for like a good 4 or 5 years, so it's one of the ones like, you can tell that it's dying with it. You can tell that it's dying with it, and it's just like, and all it does is like, whenever I'm trying to do stuff, it takes forever to load, and that, but it's doing the job and that, and then sometimes whenever I'm like trying to like video call doing
I refuse to give you all 6 minutes of this thing sailing away. It's the Gallus podcast. Karaoke is a necessity. Set an open course for the Virgin Sea.
I would join them, but I don't know the song.
It's come to the right sticks. Because I've got to be free. You'll know when the chorus kicks in an ideal world. Free to face the life that's ahead of me. Sticks, man. On board, I'm the captain. So climb aboard. We'll search for tomorrow. Man, the critics hate this band. On every shore. And I'll try. Oh Lord, I'll try. To carry on. Sticks is Stickson. I looked to the sea. There's a beautiful picture of the sea on the screen and a beautiful sunset.
Well, it is.
Reflections in the waves spark my memory. Some happy, some sad. I think of the childhood friends and the dreams we had. We lived happily forever, so the story goes. But somehow we missed out on the pot of gold. But we'll try best that we can to carry on. gathering of angels appear above my head. They sang to me this song of hope, and this is what they say. They say, come sail away, come sail away, come sail away with me, lads. Come sail away, come sail away, come sail away with me.
Come sail away, come sail away,
Come sail away with me, baby. Come sail away, come sail away, come sail away with me. Thank you very much for watching.
Yep, thanks for watching, guys.
Enjoy the rest of your day, folks. Thank you very much for listening to this edition of the Sandlerverse. You can see links to the other YouTube channels and other videos on the channel if you would like to check them out. Subscriptions, likes, comments mean the absolute world.